The Ballgame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios. With over 750,000 views in 2022, we are where you need to advertise. Please subscribe to our Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel and join the other 4,000 subscribers watching local sports. Bethel University's USJ, TCA, JCS, and Peabody. Our multi-camera broadcasts include slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to the sponsors who make it all possible. Ballgame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Bethel University. It's the first day of fall. It doesn't feel like it. It's 86 degrees. I'm Diamond Day McCulley along with Craig Lund. Great to have Craig back with us. He was on Bethel duties last week up in Murfreesboro. Jeremy did a great job, my son, filling in for him. But, Craig, great to have you back. And the Cats coming in here today, 3-0, taking on Thomas Ball Club out of Thomasville, Georgia. And coming in here to the folks from the Sun Conference, heavy underdogs. The Cats heavily favored again today, and certainly should be. They're averaging 63 points a game, number one in the nation. And Bethel's steamrolling pretty well, everyone. We'll give you the details on that in just a minute. Glad to be on 100.9, The Farm, and thefarmradio.com, along with Worthy Road Studios, the Ballgame Blitz, and on Bethel University's website on Boxcast. Great to have you back. And you come back, thought it might be a little cooler, but it's 86 degrees on the first day of fall. But a great sunshiny day. Late arriving crowd, as you might imagine, as the Cats, rolling right now, have moved up to number 6, moving up a spot this past week.
Yeah, I watched you guys last week, as I was traveling up there, had you on the radio, and really the Cats last week, again, just really came in, took care of business against, Coach Cackless and that Ram squad, and put the foot on the gas and really never let up.
Nighthawks, a relatively new program, only their second year. They're 0-1. They lost to Point University 20-17. Meanwhile, Bethel beat them and beat them handily 51-13. So if you look at it on paper, obviously you understand why Bethel's a heavy favorite here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. When you look at the scoring production that the Wildcats are doing this year thus far, like you said, lead the nation, and I guess in all levels in averaging points per game. But with offense, you got to have a complementary defense, and the defense is playing outstanding as well the first 3 ball games.
Yeah, great point, Craig. Only yielding 9 points a game. Let's remind you, the executive producer today of Worthy Road Studios on the video side is Paul Schultze. Our director today is Christopher Reasons. Replay is our lovely buddy Ashley Janda. On the cameras, Eric Inman and Billy Boland will be down on the sidelines. Meanwhile, on the radio side, Tom Yarbrough is our producer and director, the old veteran. He's been around about as long as I have. He's pulling for the Tide today, and they're at home against Ole Miss. Meanwhile, his wife is a big UT fan. She's pulling for the Vols as they have a 3 o'clock kickoff up in Knoxville. We'll take a 2-minute break. We'll come back. Craig and I will talk more about the game. It's Military Appreciation Day here today. We'll give you the details of what's happening with that before the game, at halftime, and after the ball game. Be the first meeting between the two programs. Bethel leads the country in scoring, we mentioned, and 63 points a game. This will be the 492nd game in program history, with Bethel winning 197 of those. And we'll tell you about about the soldiers of the 129th Division Sustainment Support Battalion from Fort Campbell. They're here today. They'll be saluted, and a lot of other folks being saluted here today. But let's hope it's a big salute to the Cats as they try to make it 4 in a row to open up the season. When we come back, we'll give you the latest on the soccer teams at Georgetown last night. History-making day today in women's tennis, and the volleyball Cats. The Volley Cats are up in Cumberland today. We'll give you the details of that as well. We'll come back, though, on this first day of fall with football on a warm, sunny day in McKenzie. Stay with us. A 2-minute break on the Bethel Football Network.
Are you always on the go trying to cram a job, picking up the kids, and all of your other errands into an 8-hour day? Carroll Bank and Trust is proud to offer mobile banking that allows you to bank on the go and make banking convenient for you. The mobile app allows you to check your balance, transfer money, all from the palm of your hand, 24/7. How's that for convenient? At Carroll Bank and Trust, we're proud to offer banking options that fit into your busy schedule. Carroll Bank and Trust, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Always online at carrollbank.com.
We're proud to call Huntington one of our new hometowns. Now serving Huntington and all of Carroll County, Hometown Health Clinic is open on the Core Square, featuring family practice, internal medicine, pediatrics, mental health, a Suboxone program, and convenient catering. Hometown Health Clinic, staffed with folks you know, caring for families just like yours. On the Core Square in Huntington and online at hometownclinics.com.
Or going, your first move should take you to Taylor Real Estate and Auction on Spain and Huntington. With Taylor Real Estate and Auction, knowing where to begin is the key to real estate satisfaction, and no one does it better than Taylor Real Estate and Auction. Their hours are Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, and appointments can be made for other days and times. So whether you're in the market for real estate or looking for an auction company, call 986-8578. Knowledge is power. Taylor Real Estate and Auction.
Doggone it. Did you forget to call 811 before you started digging? 811 is free, easy, and the law. 811 will contact all underground utilities to have your lines marked. Don't wind up in the doghouse. Call or click 811 before you dig. We want to keep you safe. Thanks for trusting the West Tennessee Public Utility District.
And we're back at Wildcat Stadium on this sunny afternoon, on this Saturday afternoon in McKenzie. Welcome back, everybody. Diamond Dave McCulley along with Craig Lund. We'll give you all the support, folks. We'll talk about them in just a few minutes as well. Mike Jasper in his 5th year, 28-15. Coach of the Year last year in the conference, and also the NAI Regional Coach of the Year. He comes in matching wits today with his friend Orlando Mitzens. His record at Thomas is 1-1, and sort of a new program they started last year. They call it actually the Thomas Military Transition Football Program, coming in here today. Meanwhile, 78 players on this roster, Craig. 6 have prior military service, one of those at the Army, at the former cadet, and one at the Citadel. 48 are current members of the National Guard. We will tell you about them in just a few minutes, but the Cats coming in here today and just steamrolling people, as we said. 197 yards on the ground, 292 in the air, 489, averaging just yielding 64.3, going back to that defense you alluded to earlier, 184.7. Meanwhile, the Nighthawks coming in from Georgia, 208 in the air, or on the ground, I should say, 167. These are a little bit skewed. It's only one game, 375, and they are only allowing 10 yards rushing, 267 in the air, so you can exploit them there. I'd be surprised, though, if Bethel's not able to run the ball today against them or anyone for that matter.
Yeah, with our offensive line, we've got pretty stout up front, able to move some people off the line and really let our running backs take off. Speaking of the offense last week, Joaquin Colazo, Mid-South Player of the Week last year for his performance against the Rams, completed 27-33 passes for 372 yards. Big opportunity again today for him to get some more yardage racked up in the passing stats.
Player of the Week, and I've got a feeling that won't be the last time he'll be Player of the Week, the Offensive Player of the Week in the conference.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, again, you just go back to the offense behind him. For him to throw, you got to be able to effectively run the football. And with our offensive line and the way our running backs have been running the first 3 games, that really opens up downfield passing for Colazo.
Two pretty impressive numbers to tell you when you talk about the O-line and this offense. Third down percentage, 50%, which is excellent at any level. Red zone scores, 20 of 20. 17 of those touchdowns, 3 field goals.
Wow, unbelievable. And you look at the running backs, Dakota Braswell, Martez Smith, both of them complement each other. Braswell, 9 attempts, 131 yards. his long 75, Martez Smith, 16 attempts, 112 yards. So really complimentary running backs. You can hit them 1-2 punch right there.
No doubt about it. On the Sun Conference opponent today, the Nighthawks out of Georgia, they come in here today with a good quarterback. We'll talk about him a little bit as well, but we'll give you the starting lineups in a minute. Chris Carter's his name. And meanwhile, they've got a good running back, James Amaker. Wide receivers, Cameron Bailey. Wide receiver, Jarrett Foster. But you look at Bethel. The one thing I like about Bethel's offensive unit, it's big, it's quick, and a lot of depth, more depth to this team. And I've been doing Bethel now for 13 years. This may be the deepest team at every position that I've seen since I've been here.
I agree, and I watch them every weekend as much as I can, and you're right, Dave. And again, we talked about this 2 weeks ago when I was here, but that portal, when those transfers came in, really helped Coach Jasper build that depth and got some quality players to go along with what he already had on staff.
Pretty neat. Military Appreciation Day today.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, and of course, if you've ever been to the stadium, you know Dustin Finch's number is prevalent across the front of the press box here. He was one of our football players who paid the ultimate sacrifice in serving our country.
A young man from Humboldt, Tennessee, and number 41 will never be worn here again.
Absolutely, and it shouldn't be.
All right, you look at this Wildcat team. They beat a good Bluefield team, 61-14. And people say, well, maybe you're sugarcoating a little bit. No, I think Bluefield's a pretty good ball club. I think they'll win some games. I'm not sure how many, but they beat Point 51-13. Shellac St. Andrews 77-0, and coming off the 61-14 win. And really no way you can describe each game other than dominating.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And if you remember, Bluefield comes in here last week. They were 11th in the country in scoring.
Sure.
So you thought maybe
and receiving votes.
And receiving votes. And you thought maybe you would see an offensive showdown between two great offensive teams. But again, lean on the defense. Bethel does. Able to take care of and neutralize that offense for Bluefield. And
going back to the offensive unit, 878 yards passing, 591 rushing. You got to love the balance.
Oh, absolutely. Any football coach will tell you if you can run the football and throw the football and balance that out, you're going to be successful in your football season.
Craig Lund, 15 straight regular season wins for Bethel.
Unbelievable. Just hard to beat this Wildcat team when they're at home. And again, been very fortunate, three home games in a row. Another opportunity today to pick up number 4. And I look for the Wildcats to really roll today. 22
offensive touchdowns for the defensive side. Mr. Burns still talking about those 2 interceptions that he's had thus far. When he has children, he'll make them probably 4 instead of 2.
Certain players are like a magnet to the football. And Burns strikes me as that way. He's
sure.
always in the air. And the big key about it is, Dave, he plays good, disciplined football. Coaches will tell you, keep your eyes where they need to be. Don't let your eyes drift. We talk about that at the high school level. It's the same for college, NFL, whatever it may be. You got to keep your eyes focused, stay where they need to be. Don't get caught up in looking away. Play your responsibilities, and good things happen. And Burns has done that well this year.
We mentioned Chris Carter, the quarterback on the other side. Let's give due to the Nighthawks as well. Carter, 14-23 in that loss to Point, 158 yards, had a touchdown to interception. He's the guy that was a former cadet with the Army.
Oh, wow. And first thing that jumps off the page about this entire team, if they're military, they're going to be disciplined. So I would anticipate not a lot of penalties on their side. They're going to be very disciplined. So the Wildcats have to complement that. They've got to be as disciplined as well, not commit the silly penalties, stay within themselves, and just take care of business.
And third down conversions against Point, they're pretty good too, 47%.
Not bad. If you can get a 50% margin on third down conversions, you're doing something right on the offensive side of football.
No doubt about it. Let's take another break. This is the countdown to kickoff. Right now we're about 16 minutes away. We didn't have a chance to catch up with Coach Jasper. We'll talk to him after the ball game, hopefully, about a big win. When we come back, we'll take a look at the starting lineups for both teams, offensively and defensively. It's the Cats and the Nighthawks here on a warm, sunny afternoon on the first day of fall in Wildcat Lair. Yes, that's right. We'll come back right after this. We'll talk about some things that happened around the campus, other sports, and some high school updates. We'll give you some of those, too, when we come back. This is the Bethel Football Network.
Johnsonville TV Game Radio. It's the finance, performance, Carlo, in Johnsonville TV Game Radio. Hails the World Buffers, Randy Hudson, bringing to Johnsonville TV Game Radio. It's the Circuit Game coming in Johnsonville. Johnsonville TV Game it's ready to chance when it comes to
If you're looking looking to purchase or refinance a home, or maybe you need a home equity line of credit, call the folks at Holly Credit Union and talk to one of their experienced loan officers. At Holly Credit Union, their goal is to provide members with low-cost, high-quality financial services and a friendly, personal environment. So call them today at 644-9031 to schedule an appointment to discuss your home loan situation. That's Holly Credit Union.
Deposit insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Visit Holly Credit Union of Paris.
Are you always on the go trying to cram a job, picking up the kids, and all of your other errands into an 8-hour day? Carol Bank and Trust is proud to offer mobile banking that allows you to bank on the go. Make banking convenient for you. The mobile app allows you to check your balance, transfer money, all from the palm of your hand, 24/7. How's that for convenient? Carol Bank and Trust is proud to offer banking options that fit into your busy schedule. Carol Bank and Trust, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC. Always online at carolbank.com.
We're proud to call Huntington one of our new hometowns. Answer Huntington and all of Carroll County. Hometown Milk Clinic is open on Court Square, featuring family practice, internal medicine, pediatrics, mental health, a Suboxone program, and convenient care. Hometown Milk Clinic is staffed with full-time Court Square in Huntington and online at hometownclinics.com.
Always, Josh Key, our great PA guy here. He and I going over how to pronounce some names, and we have some unusual names on the Nighthawk squad, but we'll tell you more about that in just a minute. Craig, we talked a lot about both of these teams thus far, and of course, again, it's Military Appreciation Day, but you look at coming in here today, obviously, Bethel, I think, first of all, just mentally has to be ready to play and focus because they're the heavy favorite here. And, they read things on their website. They read things in the papers. They watch TV as well. But, you respect your opponent, and you got to get ready for whatever may be thrown at you today. I had a game last night, TCA, and we'll talk a little high school. I know McKenzie wins big again. Huntington with a slugfest, so to speak. Play on words here a little bit with Milan. But you look at this game today. I mean, I had one last night, number 2 in the state, and TCA probably would have, could have, should have. We had the game won up by 14 with 8 minutes left. And credit Riverside, number 2. They came back and won the ball game. But so you can't play it on paper. You got to play it out here. And who knows? I mean, Thomas coming in here, they have nothing to lose, do they?
They have absolutely nothing to lose. And if you're the Wildcats, you got the target on your back. You're number 5 in the country. Nothing more will make these guys from Thomas more excited than to come in here and knock off the number 5 team to really get their season. They only played one game. They're 0-1. Really get their season rolling.
Speaking of football, though, I'm looking down at Austin Childers, who's enjoying one of these great sandwiches that we have here in the press box. The main thing about that sandwich is, as Steve Heyman has always told me, Diamond, it's free, so don't complain about the sandwich. But and by the way, if we're running short on the trail mix, it's because I've got about 5 in my bag back here behind me. I love that stuff. But anyway, look, I left some for others. But Craig, you look at this game today. But in talking about the other games, Huntington with a big win over Milan. McKenzie keeps rolling. You look at McKenzie just. A freight train right now you guys have.
They are 5-1 on the year,
That's that Chapel kid playing, by the way.
You know what? I think he finished last night. We started the game, he had 25 tackles leading the team. He was up to 30-35 before it was blink of an eye. I mean, he's playing very well.
Taking his good looks and his talent from his mother.
For his mother, for sure. Not from his dad. He must be behind me or something. I don't know.
No, he's down there trying to get the – by the way, if you're coming in and you expect our great video board to be working, it is a great video board. Trust me, it is. But it's not working. It worked fine all morning. 80 minutes, which was to be about 69 minutes ago, it decided to go out on its own. And Trevathan, they're best in the business. They're down working on it. And just can't get it working as of yet, but hopefully we'll get to doing that here in just a minute. The keys for a Bethel win today. I talked about being focused early.
Just being focused. And you just keep doing what you're doing. So far it's been successful. I think Coach Jasper comes out. I think you're right. I think he's going to try to establish that run, utilize that big offensive line, and just let Collazo and the backs do what they do. When you look at Martez Smith and what's the other one? Other back. I just named the name. Anyway, our backs just do what they do. Get behind an offensive line, set up the pass, and good things will happen for the Wildcats today.
Well, and a new guy today, number 18, you don't know about him yet. He's a grad assistant from Valdosta State. I am told that he is the real deal, the wide receiver, 5'10", 160 from Dayton, Tennessee, Noel Patterson. You've got to look at Bethel's offensive starters there, sir.
I do. Here we go. Starting for the Wildcats. First on offense, at center, number 66, Jaden Taylor. At left guard, number 70, Tyrell Wynn. At right guard, number 51, Dylan Morales. At right tackle, number 78, Logan Davis. At left tackle, number 67, Jackson Surratt. At wide receiver, number 3, Jalen Taylor, the man Dave just mentioned. At halfback and tight end, number 9, Tyrell Partee. At wide receiver, number 7, Avante Burris. At wide receiver, number 37, J.D. Dixon. At running back, number 45, Martez Smith. And your quarterback, number 13, Joaquin Colazo. On the defensive side for the Cats, at tackle, number 96, Christian Cantrell. At nose guard, number 95, Xavier King. At the other tackle, number 55, Jamel Goulburn. At linebacker, number 4, Darian Burns. At another linebacker, number 44, Darian Lewis. At linebacker, number 25, Brody Franks. The rover position, number 1, Brian Hughes. At nickel, number 8, Jalen Beasley. At corner, number 0, Cortez Ittman. At corner, number 2, Demetrius Gilbert. And at safety, number 5, Jaron Rainey.
I'm opening our windows a little bit for Worthy Road Studios to get those camera shots a little bit better. And meanwhile, you've got to look at the offensive unit for the Nighthawks.
For the Nighthawks, at quarterback, number 7, Chris Carter. At running back, number 19, James Amaker. At wide receiver, number 84, Cameron Bailey. At wide receiver, number 6, Jarek Foster. At wide receiver, number 3, Brandon Denmark. At left tackle, number 50, Malik Patterson. At left guard, number 55, Cole Holmes. At center, number 55, Zach Thomas. We got two 55s, Dave. At right guard, number 54, Dakota Blunt. At right tackle, number 69, Kevin Hernandez. And at tight end, number 32, Matt Bowman. On the defensive side for the Nighthawks, going to run a three-man front. At defensive end, Canarion Jenkins. At nose tackle, number 75, Simon Coben Porterreal. There we go. At defensive end, Darius Phillips. At outside linebacker, Winderlick Rawlison. At inside linebacker, Marcus Dennison. At inside linebacker, Nehemiah Mack. Outside linebacker, Julian Harper. At cornerback, number 13, Ronnie Davis. At free safety, number 2, Fabian Yarborough. At strong safety, number 1, A.J. Taylor. And at the other cornerback, number 28, Charles Williams.
A.D. Drew is the very fine SID down at Thomas. We appreciate his help getting things prepared and ready for today's broadcast. And remember, folks, if you're watching the game today via the video of Worthy Road Studios, the Ball Game Blitz, and Bethel's Boxcast, remember that we do have a radio audience at 100.9 with Tom Garber on the game. So if you think we're over-describing, we have that to do as well. Not a big crowd here. I think, Craig, like last week, I think people are waiting to right at kickoff. We're about 7 minutes away. I think we'll see an influx of people coming in a few minutes, but people staying out of the heat right now. And it's pretty warm, 86 degrees. When it's 86 here, it means probably it's about 93 or 4 or 5 down on the field.
Yeah, when you sit down on those stands with that heat and that sun, because the sun hits directly on the field, and that metal bleacher, it really heats you up. And, of course, like you said, down on the field, that turf will get hot. It'll get humid down there. And the players, training staff will be important today, keeping hydration into those players.
The guys in stripes today, you've got to look at our lineup.
Referee Brian Carolyn, umpire Chris Scales, headline judge Joshua Underwood, line judge Sean Walker, side judge Bradley Eris, field judge Caleb Bearden, back judge James Bradford, game clock operator Mr. Barry Capps, and the play clock operator Mr. Adam Welch.
And Claire Craddock knows that because she had to enter him in the computer just a few minutes ago. Looking at the top 25, Bethel, we mentioned a couple of times number 6 from the conference. Georgetown's number 11. Lindsey Wilson's number 11. Georgetown is number 12. And Cumberland's Kentucky, who Bethel will play next week at 6 o'clock in Williamsburg. They're number 19 in the country after they had not been ranked earlier.
You know, you talk about the Wildcats so far and the first 3 teams we've played. Next week, a big challenge for the Wildcats.
No doubt.
To go on the road to play at Cumberland's.
No doubt about it. I think Bethel will be a slight favorite in the game,
Sure.
but yeah, that's a tough place to play. I don't know if you've ever been there. Beautiful press box. We'll not be making the trip for radio, but you can watch the game. We'll have the links up on our website. Josh Key is reading now what we wrote to put in our PA earlier about honoring Dustin Finch.
Oh, man. You know, I didn't know Dustin Finch personally, but he's a Wildcat. He went to school here, so he's family. And for what he did for our country, what he did for Bethel, it's It's heart-wrenching.
I'll tell you how well thought of and respected he is. Last week, Dino Kaklis, who is an associate head coach at Bluefield and the defensive coordinator, was on the field. Mike Jasper told me this story. I had a really good conversation with Dino. Mike told me that Dino came up to the box, where his shadow box with his jersey and his picture there, and said Dino left with tears in his eyes.
Yeah, I mean,
Chris Elliott, a big part of that. Dino, a big part of that
absolutely.
Legacy as well.
And, you know, you can't help but just when you walk by and see it down in the VIP room, or when you just look at that 41 hanging up, you got to think about it, and you just got to pause and give thanks.
They're having a moment of silence for Dustin. The crowd rising. They'll have the invocation by Chaplain Hames and then the national anthem. We'll take a 2-minute break. We're back on Worthy Road Studios, the Ball Game Blitz, and here on 100.9. All of that coming up next as the pregame winds down here on the Bethel Football Network.
First move should take you to Taylor Real Estate and Auction on East Main and Huntington. The Taylor Real Estate and Auction going where the game is the key to real estate satisfaction, and no one does it better than Taylor Real Estate and Auction. Their hours are Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, and appointments can be made for other days and times. So whether you're in the market for real estate or looking for an auction company, call 986-8578. Knowledge is power. Taylor Real Estate and Auction.
Doggone it. Did you forget to call 811 before you started digging? 811 is free, easy, and the law. 811 will contact all underground utilities to have your lines marked. Don't wind up in the doghouse. Call or click 811 before you dig. We want to keep you safe. Thanks for trusting the West Tennessee Public Utility District.
The Johnsonville TVA Credit Union wants to finance your next car loan. Come in and get pre-approved before you go car shopping. Combining Branch and Johnsonville TVA Credit Union will help with payments to fit your budget. Is your rate too high somewhere else? Bring it to Johnsonville TVA Credit Union and mark in a loan rate. 4 locations to serve you, and Huntington, New Johnsonville, and Cumberland City. Johnsonville TVA Employees Credit Union, your lender of choice when it comes to borrowing money.
If you're looking to purchase or refinance a home, or maybe you need a home equity line of credit, call the folks at Holly Credit Union and talk to one of their experienced loan officers. At Holly Credit Union, their goal is to provide members with low-cost, high-quality financial services in a friendly, personal environment. So call them today at 644-9031 to schedule an appointment to discuss your home loan situation. That's Holly Credit Union.
Deposit insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Visit Holly Credit Union of Paris.
Invocation by Chaplain Hames, and ladies and gentlemen, from Wildcat Stadium, your national anthem. Well, there are not as many as the Pride of the Southland under the direction of Dr. J. Julian, as John Ward used to always say, which made hair on the back of my neck stand up. But they are under the direction of Dr. Derek Jones and the Renaissance Band, and Craig did a great job as always, and really nice pregame ceremony with the color guard and the band, and now we're ready for the kickoff. The Cats have not made their way into the stadium yet, but they're about to come in. They'll wear the black breeches today with the white jerseys. Thomas wanted to wear the green, and Bethel said, okay, that's fine. And Bethel will come out here heavily favored. They'll come out of the end zone to our right, which would be in this case, what, the south end zone, back toward the campus. And always fun. It's nothing like college football in a small town in the south on a Saturday afternoon, is it?
It is not, and we're very fortunate in McKenzie, the Carroll County, West Tennessee area in general to have Bethel University and the football program and all the programs here. I encourage, every time I get an opportunity, I encourage people, if you're not doing anything on Saturday afternoon or your team is not playing at 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, come on over and see some good football.
No doubt about it. I look downstairs. There's Norberto Lima Vieira, the all-time leading saver in Bethel men's soccer, coming off a 2-0 win at Georgetown last night. How about Misty's Ball Club? They win as well, 2-0. So 2 double dippers last night, 2-0 in both games. Meanwhile, Sofia Santo, first time in Bethel women's tennis history, making the semifinals of the conference. Dr. Derek Hubble is excited to say the least. Hubble actually took the team up yesterday. We had a guy to finish in the Sweet 16, a gal to finish in the Sweet 16. Then Sophia made it to Elite 8 today and made it to the semifinals now, the only time that's ever happened. And Hubble came back for the Huntington game, then drove back to Georgetown wee hours this morning.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's dedication right there by Dr. Hubble.
No doubt about it. And today, filling in for Dr. Hubble will be Dr. Childers. He's going to be working the stats down to the right. Austin's been the busiest guy on the campus today. He's been dealing with the scoreboard. The video goes out. He's been dealing with that, and now he's getting ready for stats. Claire set him up in good shape, I think. With all you had to help her with a couple IDs on the stat computer, didn't you?
Yeah, first thing we had to explain to Claire who the visiting team was and the home team was. I mean, she's played softball all of her life. I figured she figured that out.
I'm not going to bring up the result against Big Sandy.
No,
I'm not,
Dave, I like you.
I'm not going to do that.
My daughter was part of that team.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's right. That's why you're sensitive about that.
Yeah,
well, first time in 38 years, is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't bring it up though, but
you think they were mad?
All right. All right. Josh Key tells us Galazzo's out there, one of the captains. Also out there for the Cats, Jackson Surratt, the big offensive lineman. Jackson's been around as long as I have. Meanwhile, the other guys, we'll spot them here for you in a minute. It's going to be Darian Burns, the linebacker, who has 2 interceptions. We'll give you all the facts and figures about these teams as the game progresses. You see a great shot. I'm telling you, I don't brag enough on Paul Schultze, Christopher Reasons, and all the gang here. We have Ashley Janda with us today, Eric Inman, Billy Boland. McKenzie's here with some of the guys as well. But you look at this scene you see, and look at those camera angles. Outstanding at the best. I mean, it's like CBS with us, isn't it?
It absolutely
and
is.
I'm not saying that slightly either.
You know, McKenzie, they only have the radio broadcast, but, you know, when the season's going on, if I'm able to have time to pull up, broadcast, I'll watch them, and I'll watch Peabody quite a bit when we had them in region, things of that nature. Just does a fantastic job. Not
only do they cover Bethel, but they cover Trenton Peabody, who took it on the chin last night. They cover USJ, TCA, the team that I do the radio for and the broadcast for as well on the TV side. Also, the Rockabillys and Jackson Christian, who's been a juggernaut thus far, probably the best team maybe in West Tennessee right now, the Eagles, who we'll see late in the season. The flavor, the character of college football. Dr. Jones down there with his white gloves. He'll be taking those off pretty soon. But did a great job with the Renaissance Band. They'll be performing here at halftime. We'll have a special presentation and acknowledge those servicemen and women from Fort Campbell who's here today. And they've got all the big vehicles out there, the military vehicles.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we keep talking about the servicemen and what they do for our country. And just if you have an opportunity to thank one of them, thank them, because they allow us to do what we do and allow us to live in this country, as easily as we do.
Cats will receive this football. There's a new guy, too, Noel Patterson, going back there, number 18. You'll see it on your screen here in a minute. And to kick it away here it will be number 96, Braxton Crawford, who will kick this thing away. Patterson, the newcomer. I'll tell you what, Gilbert's already just a beast in his own right. You put another guy back there, and Mike Jasper has raved about Patterson. Our first look at him, this is his first game as a Wildcat, and he's raved about him. And Gilbert, we know what he can do at about 27 yards per kickoff.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see this Patterson kid. Hope they kick it to him because he's kind of the hidden secret right now. Nobody's seen him on film. Valdosta
State transfer. Crawford to kick it away. The green-clad Nighthawks out of Thomasville. Mr. Drew, hello to you back there, sir. Bethel volleyball playing today up in Cumberland, Tennessee, in Lebanon, actually. Tennis in charge of things. We have the golf team, the women's golf team out this week, bass fishing out this week, shooting, you name it, it's going on. But right now our attention turns to football. Crawford will kick it, and Patterson's going to, no, it's not going to be Patterson. Backing up in front of him is Eatman. Eatman coming here to the near side. He's got a wall of blockers. He's got some room. You watch him, folks. He can fly 50, 45. Pick your poison. You get Patterson back there, who I'm sure they know a little bit about. You get Gillard, who they know a lot about. And guess what? Eatman says, no, I'm going to eat this thing. And he came back up with it, didn't he?
Sure did. Brought it all the way down to plus territory, down to the Nighthawk 42-yard line where the Cats have it 1st and 10 to start the football game.
We probably haven't talked enough about special teams. You missed last week, Craig. Outstanding, and the first 2 games are outstanding as well.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Well, it will be Mr. Collazo, the Offensive Player of the Week. 27 of 33. You missed a doozy last week. So at the 42-yard line, 1st and 10, moving to our right. Let's see what weapons he'll go to. Collazo, he's going to look. He's going for the home run ball, and guess what?
Wow.
Dixon, touchdown, ladies and gentlemen, 42 yards. It took 20 seconds of this game, and Dixon, just like that, open on target Collazo, and watch the replay, Craig. Describe what happened.
Wow, just a straight post route down the middle of the field. Collazo lays it out there right over his right outside shoulder, catches it, touchdown. Easy pitch and catch right there, Collazo to Dixon.
The all-time leader in yards caught, passes caught. Dixon, 17 catches now. That's his 5th touchdown. Over 300 yards this year, and he is the all-time leading as a sophomore of wide receivers in Bethel history. Snap back, ball down, Welch up, Welch good. 7-0, just like that. 14:39 of the first, and Bethel's on the board, leading the country in scoring and leading this game 7-0, just 21 seconds in, back after this 30 on the Bethel Football Network.
Are you always on the go trying to cram a job, picking up the kids, and all of your other errands into an 8-hour day? Carroll Bank & Trust is proud to offer mobile banking that allows you to bank on the go and make banking convenient for you. The mobile app allows you to check your balance, transfer money, all from the palm of your hand, 24/7. How's that for convenient? At Carroll Bank & Trust, we're proud to offer banking options that fit into your busy schedule. Carroll Bank & Trust, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Always online at carrollbank.com.
Syracuse, Indiana native Johnson. Braden will kick it away. He's got a strong leg. Indiana State transfer. He does the kickoffs. Welch does the PATs. We're now Craig Lund. He's 25 of 27 on the year.
Wow.
And the Cats, just like that, up 7-0 over this Thomas team that's got to feel like they got off the bus and got hit by a buzzsaw.
They did. It's called Collazo to Dixon quickly.
They are developed a great, and that was just a pattern right over the middle. They just caught him wide open, and now bringing it out will be Foster. Foster, oh man, he's hit hard.
Wow.
Watch this somersault, and that tackle, who made that tackle?
94, Timothy Hamilton.
Tim Hamilton, who always is only about his sacks. Here's a replay, Craig. You folks listening on the radio, just trust us.
Good high kick, goes into the end zone. Thought he was going to sit down with it, but he decides to bring it out. And he is up in it and rolled over by Hamilton, number 94 for the Cats.
Tim is very athletic. Hamilton, the young man from Chicago, Illinois, Trinity International University transfer. Well, Carter will bring out his troops. Got one back right in behind him. Top of your screen, doubles over there. And he'll run the option here, and nowhere to go for that running back. Bang! He's hit back there, and that's nowhere to go that time by Hall, the running back from Georgia.
Tackle was made by 21, Trayon Wash for the Wildcats, and played it well. They ran the option down the left side of the line. Pitch man comes up, Wash takes him. They pitch it to him. He takes his legs out for a big loss.
A loss of 3, second down and 13. We're at the 14-minute mark, 1 minute in the game. The Cats already lead 7-0. Hamilton along that front line. And Carter, the quarterback, will bring him out. Carter from Imperial, California. Puts a man in motion, far side right. Sets him down in the slot. He'll drop back and be sacked. He's actually going to get back to the line of scrimmage. There'll not be a sack there. It may have picked up a half a yard, but that defense just outstanding. This defense, folks, only yielding 64 on the ground, 184 in the air, and averaging 9 points scored against them per game.
That tackle was made by 25, Brody Franks for the Wildcats, and it really looked like a little bit of a busted play. It looked like the quarterback was going to try to hand it off, and the fullback maybe went the wrong way, so he just pulls it, tries to get what he can get right there.
Brody Franks, third leading tackle on the team. You sound almost as good as the guy I've got on the high school broadcast with me on Friday night. Singles each way.
No.
I knew you wouldn't like that. Here's the little flip back, running back trying to get far side right. Bang! He's hit. He got a few yards. No, I don't know if he got anything. He lost a yard. That running the ball that time was James Amaker from Jacksonville, Florida. Leading rusher coming in over 100 yards, 34 carries. But that time, who made the stop, Craig?
96, Christian Cantrell. Just tracks him down on the tall sweep to the right side. Cantrell able to grab from the backside and just kind of yank him down with his big paw.
If you watch the entire game today, you'll hear us use you'll hear us, really, to be honest with you, call a lot of different people's names out. Waddell, the punter, near his goal line. And Gilbert will stand near midfield. Gilbert averaging 17 yards on punt returns. Here's a low kick, and Gilbert's going to run in and get it at the 50. He's at the 45 dancing, juking his way to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, tight roping his way down. He's going to score. He did not go out of bounds. I've got him with a 50-yard return. What do you think, Craig? Is that right?
Touchdown catch. Yes, sir.
Here's the replay. You folks again on the radio side.
And look at the room he's got on this side. He takes it to the short side.
48-yard line, 52-yard return.
52, and what a wall right there. Good downfield blocking by the Cats. Right down the sideline. They had an angle on him, just couldn't get him. He just kind of pirouettes into the end zone.
Lyle the snapper, Johnson the holder, Welch the kicker. 52 yards at the 12-12 mark. The only thing you were holding your breath out there was he go out of bounds? But he did not. He was tight roping it, wasn't he?
He was tight roping it down the sideline. And Dave, you get text messages, I get text messages. Mark Anderson, the Big Daddy, he kind of liked that comment about your partner, me being your partner.
Oh, he loves my partner. He loves Stan. Free barbecue the next time he goes to Big Daddy's. I'll never get one now there.
No, you won't.
Here's the PAT, good by Welch. He's now 26 of 28. It's 14-0. Stan may be listening. Stan, hope you got some rest, bud. We got in about 11:45 last night. Well, folks, we're not 3 minutes in the game. It's 14-0 Bethel. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us on the Bethel Football Network at 30.
One of our new hometowns, now serving Huntington and all of Carroll County. Hometown Health Clinic is open on the Core Square, featuring family practice, internal medicine, pediatrics, mental health, a Suboxone program, and convenient care. Hometown Health Clinic, staffed with folks you know, caring for families just like yours. On the Core Square in Huntington and online at hometownclinics.com.
Welcome back to Wildcat Football. The Wildcats lead 14-0 after the 52-yard punt return by the Wildcats. One offensive possession. We score first possession. Defense does their job. Punt the football. We score again.
Cross-country standout. Stetson Childers is in the house with us. Behind us here, Deshaun is spotting along with Claire. Stetson has a tough act to follow. His brother, Austin, my assistant, was an all-conference performer here.
Yeah.
So Stetson trying to live up to that Childers legacy, no doubt. Austin thinks prime time's going down. Here's an onside kick. And that rolls, and Johnson has it. Let's see if he fell on it before it went 10 yards. I didn't think he did.
I didn't either. It was on the right side of the 40.
Flag came in. Are you surprised, leading 14-0, to go for the onside kick, going for the early kill here? I think that's what they're going to call. They're going to say that someone was offsides, I guess. Coach Jasper wanting an explanation on it.
So do I. Let's watch a replay.
Chris, there goes Chris. Great job by Worthy Road Studios producer and director.
Now the only thing I can see. What?
A re-kick.
He said
He said 26. That would have been Jordan Kaysen. Jordan's back out there. I guess they call him offsides, I guess.
I guess so.
So they'll move it back to the 30. Well, in a way, that's a break for Bethel, because if that had been against us there as far as not going 10 yards, they'd have got the ball, wouldn't they?
They would have gotten the ball right there. That's correct. The only thing I could figure is the ball went 10 yards, but our recover person went beyond the ball and came back to it.
I guess
that's what it is.
Maybe that's what it was, yeah. Johnson, the kicker, is actually the one that I saw an onside kick last night with Riverside. It went 2 yards.
Not the way they draw it up.
Not the way they drew it up. No, I just called it a snafu. 12-12 left here in the first. Bethel already leads the game 14-0. Glad to have you aboard today on 100.9, thefarmradio.com. Also here on Worthy Road Studios, the Ball Game Blitz. You can watch a live replay of this later. We'll post it later tonight. Here's the kick over his shoulder. Gathering that in will be Butler. And he's up across the 25 and scurries his way to about the 30. Well, Williams brought it back. I apologize. And that's Charles Williams, 28, not 29.
Missed the tackle right there.
Yep. 1st and 10 now for the Nighthawks.
He took it at the 10, got it out to the 30, so about a 20-yard return. They're going to put it at the 31, so a 21-yard return for the Nighthawks.
So Carter will bring him back out. His running backs will be Amaker, wide receiver Bailey, wide receiver Foster, wide receiver Denmark, tackle Patterson, guard Holmes, center Thomas, right guard Blatt, right tackle Hernandez. And here's the handoff, and boy, I have a big hit, but he's got good running room. And carrying at that time, Carter carried it himself. He's got a first down, I think. Yep, he does, across the 40. And got it for about a couple of yards. That's a good run. He's up to about the 43-yard line.
Well, it's obviously like run that option. Rainey comes up and pops the quarterback right there, slowed him down, and the rest of the Wildcats finished him off.
Rainey, the defensive back from High Point, North Carolina. I see a typo on my roster. That's a big N, small C. Needs to be an NC, both capitalized. We'll get that straight. Now whistles shrill throughout the fall air, although it doesn't feel like fall, 86 degrees. And false start. You called it, Craig, from the very get-go.
I thought we had 2 men moving, but they caught it on an interior lineman right there. Probably the pulling guard trying to get a little bit of a step for that run play on that trap on the backside.
Great shot from our end zone camera. They've got cameras everywhere. They've got cameras up here. They've even got a camera on you and I, Craig.
Well,
hope it doesn't get too close. Me, not you. I'm not.
Well, it's aimed right at your head.
It sure is.
So
1st and 15. Ball back to the 37. Make it 38. Carter drops. Carter quick throw. Caught. A nice catch and a hard pass to defend there. Caught by Grace. And he's across the 45 and up to his own 47-yard line, a pickup of about 5 yards, 2nd and 5.
Carter did a good job of putting it right between 2 Wildcat defenders. Eatman made the tackle, but a nice throw right there by Carter.
Hard to defend that.
Yeah.
10.5 left here in this first stanza. Bethel leads the game 14-0. 42-yard Collazo to Dixon. First play from scrimmage. And then a 52-yard punt return by Gilbert. That coming in the first 3 minutes of the game. We approach the 10-minute mark. And Carter, the little quarterback, up under center. Rolls this way, being pursued, will turn, and just dumps it off, and a nice decision. And catching that ball will be Hall, and he's inside the Bethel 40 down to about the 37-yard line. No quit in this Mighty Hawk team. You wouldn't think it would be. 48 guys in the National Guard, so they know what discipline means.
Quarterback did a good job of keeping the play, extending the play, and then not giving up and just dumping it off. Tackle made by number 2, Demetrius Gilbert, for the Wildcats.
That was her point there, Craig. I thought he was just going to throw the ball out of bounds.
I did too.
Yep.
Just did a good job keeping his eyes downfield.
That's a good job, too, by Hall, the receiver, who came back to help his quarterback out. 1st and 10, the ball at the 38. On the option. Oh, my goodness. What a hit. Look at this hit by Brian Hughes, leading tackler on the team, and that's a good reason why right there. Watch this hit. Nowhere to go. Lost back to the 40. Here it is.
Again, Hughes doing a good job just shedding his block, and he ripped him a new one.
You folks, again, on the radio side, as we watch the replay, just take our word for it. I mean, he hit him helmet right in the numbers. 9 minutes left here. Bethel leads 14-0, but this has been by far the best surge that the Nighthawks have had thus far. 2nd and 11 after the loss of 1.5 yards. And stumbling out from under center will be Carter, and he's going to be drops himself back at the 44.
Last time I saw that play, it was Clint Sterner.
Arkansas.
Which catapulted the Vols to the national championship.
Well, I've always heard you got to be good, which Tennessee was. Borderline great that year, I thought. Great team. But you got to be lucky, and that happened. And if you remember that play too, you UT fans, I mean, Arkansas had the game won, didn't they?
They had the game won. All I had to do was run the clock out. And to this day, I'm still not sure why they were trying to roll out and pass the football.
I remember a Peabody game in the playoffs a couple of years ago that happened.
Yep.
Yeah, against one of the Memphis schools. So it's now 3rd and 14. Carter, that's a design play. He should have done something else. He's hit and decked. And the guy that got him, ladies and gentlemen, was Jerwin Young, the senior from Brownsville, former Tomcat. So if it's 4-down territory, they're going to punt it. I think they're going to punt it. I had a game last night, Craig, that, again, TCA and Riverside, great game. And for only the 5th and 6th time all year, Riverside punted the ball.
Wow.
That's remarkable.
It is. I mean, it just shows how good Riverside is. Number 2 in the state. Last night, the number 1 team, Milan, defeated and got beat by Huntington. So I assume Riverside will jump to that one spot in the next poll by the coaches or the AP.
Yeah, 44-yard line, 4th and about 16 yards. The punter stands back there. That's going to be Waddell. Dropped it, gets it back, and sidewinds it. And it takes a Bethel bounce and will be down at the 42-yard line. Well, that sort of went awry from the very get-go, didn't it?
Yeah, just a bad snap. And to give credit to the punter, doing what he can, just trying to get it out of there. He kicks it pretty much straight up in the air, and it takes a 3-yard Bethel roll.
So the Cats have a 42-yard touchdown pass, which was actually, that was a 42-yard drive. Then the other score is special teams. And the ball will be at the 41-yard line. Hash mark left. Cats, they'll send out Jalen Taylor. He had a big game here last week. Far side left. The very dangerous Dixon. Single coverage on Dixon here at the near side. That's remarkable.
They got 2 safeties back. Now they're cheating up, but that's not going to help them.
He's going to go to Dixon, too. Here's the pass to Dixon. 50, 45, stiffs arms, 40, 35, 30, and knocked out of bounds. You cannot put one guy out and expect him to cover Dixon at the 30-yard line. I'm not trying to second-guess their coaching staff, but, boy, the Cats caught him in a mismatch that time.
Sure did. And he should have safety roll over the top help right here, but I didn't see it happen. That's the cornerback on him. Safety didn't roll over in time. So
he was too late.
It was too late, and Dixon's able to turn it up and get a big gain.
Down to the 32-yard line. Low snap, Collazo again. This time he's going to find the receiver. That is going to be Jalen Taylor. Taylor last week, you were gone, Craig, but Taylor had a big game. He had 13 receptions on the year and about 7 of those, I think, last week.
Have we ran the football at all yet? It's
Not yet.
Pass,
Not yet. Collazo, 27 of 33 last week. Offensive player of the year in the conference last year, and he's off and running this year as well. He just makes great decisions, the lefty does. 6:10 left here. Bethel again. And here's Smith.
Wow.
Smith twists, turns, refuses to go down. Inside the 10, 1st and goal.
Number 5 for the Nighthawks, Marcus Dennis, hits him at the line of scrimmage. He spins out and turns nothing into a 1st down.
And Dennis is from he's from Valdosta High School. That's a powerhouse in high school. You look at Smith, guy that rang up almost 300 yards against us a few years ago from the University of Cumberland. He's a grad student this year. Handoff Smith again. Smith hits a brick wall this time. Really nothing there. That was 1st and goal from the 8, and now it's going to be 1st and goal from about maybe the 7. Pick up a yard.
Yeah, pick up a 1 right there. Point. Nighthawks did a good job of closing down the hole on the right side.
Partee, the tight end, comes in. Burrs, the wide receiver, goes out. Partee had a touchdown reception last week, right at the end of the 1st half. Smith, the lone setback. He's in the pistol behind Collazo. Now Collazo says, get over here to my left.
Got the corner route to the corner on the far side.
5 minutes left here. Collazo, long count. Hands it to Smith again, and boy, he's hit hard. Nowhere to go that time. They push him back, way back.
Tackle made by number 24.
He lost a yard back to the 8.
Raheem McBride for the Nighthawks. They snuffed that one out pretty well.
Sure did. That was a great tackle. I mean, met him shoulder pad to shoulder pad, didn't he? Partee out. Comes by. Brett, I need a haircut. Peterson welcomes him to the sideline. Here is 2 receivers this side. Dixon again over here. And Collazo on the 3rd and goal from the 8. Gets it, throws it, and caught, and then hit hard. The helmet comes flying off. That caught by Taylor again, but he's going to be well short. And credit Thomas, they bowed up and played big that time in a couple of downs, didn't they?
They sure did, and you're right. Good job getting Wildcats get a first and goal, and the Thomas Nighthawks able to hold us out, and on comes the field goal unit for the Cats.
Welch is 3 of 3 on the year from field goal range. This will be a 22-yard attempt, hash mark left. His longest is 37. This should be just a chip shot for him here. Under 4 minutes, clock running. Bethel leads 14-0 already. Trying to make it 17-0. Here's the snap back. The ball is down. The kick is up, and it is good. 17-0 on the 22-yard field goal, capping off a 58-yard drive. And the Cats lead 17-0 at 3:47. Back after this 30-second message on the Bethel Football Network.
Estate and auction.
Two Wildcat footballs. Wildcats lead 17-0. Welch just puts 3 more on the board for the Cats after the Thomas U Nighthawks hold the Cats at first and goal and hold out, and Wildcats have to settle for a field goal.
Yep, and they'll take, and you set off, Mike, that's sort of a win for the Nighthawks there. And I'll tell you, they really played a couple of downs there great once we got it inside the 10. Johnson to kick it away. Bethel next week on the road. Will not be with them. You can watch the game. We'll have all the details, how you can watch it and follow live stats and video from University of the Cumberlands up in Williamsburg. They're in the top 20. They're 19 now. Kick. Back at about the 10-yard line. Bring it out is number 10. He's at the 20-25 and runs out of real estate. And he's knocked out with efficiency that time. And bringing it back was Tyler.
Rushed out of bounds by the Wildcats. 36.
We'll help our stat crew out.
Tyson Hornbuckle.
Yep, Hornbuckle. Johnson, 34, kicked it. 10 brought it back, guys. And Hornbuckle knocked him out.
Hornbuckle, freshman from Paris, Tennessee. Comes from a good program, Henry County.
Henry County, no doubt about it. Some state titles up there through the years. 3:37 left here. And Carter will come out. Very seldom do you see now in this world of football this quarterback go under center every time. He's under center, drops back, straight drop. Looking, now it's going to be flushed out of there and unloads. Wow. Nice play, good athletic play. And he dishes it off this time to Amaker. And now flag, and that could be personal foul on the Cats.
Yeah, and Hawks got somebody down. He's grabbing his knee. That doesn't look good, Dave. But give credit to the quarterback right there, Carter. Again, I'm really impressed with his ability to keep his eyes downfield and make something happen when he's got nothing right there in front of him.
Didn't panic at all.
Didn't.
Well, there's you see the play, and then you see the hit here dragging him out of bounds into the Bethel bench. I'm not sure if that was the play or if it was the block back here. We'll see here. Say a little prayer for the young man, and you see the trainers run out that quick, and that's not a good sign either. Let's take a break. A 1-minute break. We'll come back and give you the update on the Nighthawk. Bethel leads the game 17-0, 3:28 in the first. Stay with us on the Bethel Football Network.
Doggone it. Did you forget to call 811 before you started digging? 811 is free, easy, and the law. 811 will contact all underground utilities to have your lines marked. Don't wind up in the doghouse. Call or click 811 before you dig. We want to keep you safe. Thanks for trusting the West Tennessee Public Utility District.
The Johnsonville TVA Credit Union wants to finance your next car loan. Come in and get pre-approved before you go car shopping. Come by any branch, and Johnsonville TVA Credit Union will help with payments to fit your budget. Is your rate too high somewhere else? Bring it to Johnsonville TVA Credit Union and mark me on low rates. 4 locations to serve you: Camden, Huntington, New Johnsonville, and Cumberland City. Johnsonville TVA Employees Credit Union, your lender of choice when it comes to borrowing money.
Have the replay, we're told, and probably, folks, to be quite frank and honest with you, probably good that we don't. They have, when you see the trainers even on our side, the near side trainers run out that quick, you know it's not good, and we don't want to speculate again. I think it's some kind of leg injury. They're keeping the young man immobilized at the moment. And Craig, out of respect to him and they brought the ambulance out, and certainly when that happens, that's not a good sign. So we'll try to get the number for you here, but say a little prayer for the Nighthawk. It was we were watching the ball flip to the receiver here, the back out of the backfield, Amaker, and he was knocked out of bounds. And you just pray. It's a vicious game we play, and we saw a pile of bodies behind the play at about the 25-yard line, and that's what it is. They're keeping those legs pretty well immobilized now, and just hope he's all right. But golly, it's part of the game, but it's not an easy part. Do you have to describe or watch? Is it?
You're exactly right, and I'm not going to go into detail, but I saw the young man grab his leg down there and wasn't really at his knee, a little bit below, so it tells me it was a lower extremity injury, and you could tell he was in some pain. And
they're putting those airbags on it too.
Yeah, they're mobilizing it, yeah.
Sure are. So, again, let's hope he's all right, folks. We'll try to get the acknowledgement of who it is here in just a matter of moments. Let's take another 1-minute break. We'll come back. The Cats lead 17-0, 3:28 in the first. Injured player for the Nighthawks. We'll tell you more about that when we have information. This is a 1-minute break with Worthy Road Studios and the Ball Game Blitz coverage, along with 100.9 and Bethel's Boxcast. All of that right after this. Stay with us, everybody.
If you're looking to purchase or refinance a home, or maybe you need a home equity line of credit, call the folks at Holly Credit Union and talk to one of their experienced loan officers. At Holly Credit Union, their goal is to provide members with low-cost, high-quality financial services in a friendly, personal environment. So call them today at 644-9031 to schedule an appointment to discuss your home loan situation. That's Holly Credit Union.
Deposit insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Visit Holly Credit Union of Paris.
Are you always on the go trying to cram a job, picking up the kids, and all of your other errands to 8 hours a day? Girl Bank and Trust is proud to offer mobile payments that allows you to bank on the go. And banking will make you free. The mobile app allows you to check your balance, track your money, all from the palm of your hand, 24/7. How's that for convenient? Girl Bank and Trust is proud to offer banking options that fit into your husband's schedule. Girl Bank and Trust is equal housing lender. They're very fast. Always online, Girl Bank and Trust.
Well, the good news is they have the Nighthawk up. He's being helped to the stretcher. And out of respect, it is number 77, Morris Jackson, freshman offensive lineman from Columbus, Georgia, Shaw High School. So say a little prayer for him, if you would, as they have him on the stretcher. Nothing life-threatening or anything like that. It looks apparently the lower leg injury. And very quickly they got out there real quick. And the training staffs of both these schools, along with the trainers around the country, they're not paid enough money.
They're not paid enough money. And, you know, again, just the attention that young man got from both sides is just, you know, it's what you're supposed to do. And, of course, Carroll County Ambulance Service from Baptist taking care of him right now. And he is up. He's talking. He's breathing, all that good stuff. So prayers for that young man.
Our folks with walkie-talkies are telling us it's an ankle injury. And as bad as that is, it's better than maybe one of those bones in your leg, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And certainly let's hope he's all right. But that ball, by the way, they after the flag, the ball is going to be moved up around midfield. So the personal foul, I'm not sure if it was on that play or if it was on the – I thought maybe a late hit right below us.
It had. I think it was on the sideline over here, Dave.
Okay.
Because I wasn't watching that. I was watching him, and I didn't see any laundry around him. So I'm sure it was on the sideline, probably a dead ball.
So they move it down to the Bethel 48, 1st and 10 there. 3:28 in the first stanza. Well, so far today, good to be a Wildcat. Cats lead here 17-0. My Wildcats in Nashville lead Vandy 24-0 last report. Your Vols in action later. The big game today, one of the big games is obviously everyone's talking about Oregon and Colorado. But that Ole Miss Alabama game's intriguing down in Tuscaloosa, I think, today.
Very
of course, the big one is Notre Dame and
in Ohio State.
In Ohio State.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, nationally, it's a big game.
Nationally, yeah.
I have a neighbor, he pulls out his Ohio State flag every week. He said, if you can fly your Kentucky stuff, I can do Ohio State. I said, that's fine. Well, again, thoughts and prayers to Morris Jackson, freshman offensive lineman, 6'1", 265 or 255, Shaw High School product out of Columbus, Georgia. You know, the thing about Georgia, doesn't take a rocket science to know. When you talk football, boy, the Peach State, they turn them out every high school, don't they?
Well, again, it's just southern football.
And this is the second year for Thomas. And, you know, the bottom line is they'll build a good program down there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, again, they're military young men. So they are disciplined, like we talked about in pregame. Probably in very good shape before they even hit campus.
Sure.
So, you know, so they've got that going for them. And if it's a second-year program, it's going to take time to build.
You see some big guys down there, but you don't see a lot of fat on them, do you?
No, you don't. They're lean and good-looking young men.
Well, 48-yard line, 1st and 10. We'll pull for them another game that they play the rest of the year except this one. Doubles far side right. Here's the handoff, running back, big hole. He may score. 20, 15, 10, 5. That's going to be a touchdown. Touchdown by Jalen White, freshman running back from Douglasville, Georgia, and he goes 48 yards. And just like that, we've got a game, folks, 17-6.
Just a fullback dive right off the left side. Takes it right up, makes one man miss, and then was able to outrun the coverage to the end zone for the Nighthawk touchdown.
Once he got in the secondary, man, he turned it on too, didn't he?
He sure did.
Crawford in to attempt the PAT. Crawford, big number 96. On the year, he is 2 of 2 in PATs.
Looks like they're missing a young man on the.
They are. They get him in there. And it's a 17-6 game all of a sudden with 3:12 left in the first.
Well, you know, to be quite honest about kicks good, kicks up, kicks good.
17-7. So the boys from Georgia are on the board. The men from Georgia, I should say. 17-7, 3:12 left. Back with the Cats on offense after this 30 on the Ball Game Blitz in Worthy Road Studios at 100.9.
We're proud to call Huntington one of our new hometowns. Now serving Huntington and all of Carroll County, Hometown Health Clinic is open on the Court Square, featuring family practice, internal medicine, pediatrics, mental health, a Suboxone program, and convenient care. Hometown Health Clinic, staffed with folks you know, caring for families just like yours. On the Court Square in Huntington and online at hometownclinics.com.
It's funny how one or two plays can just make a game change just like that. You go back in that drive, Craig Lund, a 69-yard drive. You go back, and the little dump-off pass, which they got the penalty on later, wound up being one of the biggest plays other than the touchdown run.
No, absolutely, because it kept your momentum going. It allowed you to keep your offense on the field, and then good things lead. Unfortunately, the injury to the young man, but next play, touchdown for the Nighthawks.
3:12 left here in this first quarter. Hot day today for it to be the first day of fall. And a good crowd now is gathered in here. They put up the umbrellas down there. But those bleachers get pretty. We talked about the turf, which will eventually, we're going to replace this thing. It's needing it at times. 3:12 left, and those bleachers even get hotter, though.
Absolutely do.
Those pellets in that turf bring out the heat, don't they?
They do.
Well, Crawford to kick it away. Patterson, the newcomer, and Gilbert back there. Pick your poison, folks. And before he kicks it, we've got whistles. I thought I heard whistles, and we did. Gilbert got it on the line drive at about the 20.
Going to have offsides against the kicking team here, the Nighthawks.
On Thomas.
Yeah, procedure.
Cats next week, University of the Cumberlands in Williamsburg. Beautiful country up there. Beautiful press box. Will not be making the trip. And we'll keep you abreast of live stats and live video, how you can watch it. Thomas Chasanoff in the game. Archery's up there this week, by the way.
How long is that trip?
Well, about 7 hours, 6.5 hours. I go up, and I don't go through Knoxville. That's a tough drive for me from Nashville to Knoxville. So I go up and go north and cross the Cumberland Parkway when I go. David Paulus is my good buddy. He'll be doing the game for the folks on the radio side. 17-7. How times go by us. I remember when David Paul, his little kids were 2 and 3 years old, and now he's got kids graduating and married from college. 17-7, 3:12. They'll mark it back off to the 30, and here's Crawford's kick this time. And a little bit of a pooch kick, and the Cats will have to fall on it, and they finally pick it up over there. Boy, that came very dangerously close to be trouble.
Another flag down there about where the ball was picked up at as well.
Eatman is the guy that got on it. He's a little late getting to it there, wasn't he? He's going to spin it on the – look at him, spin it on the turf. Let's see what the flag's about. Brian Carolyn, the white hat. I think they're going to bring it back the way he's reacting. That was an illegal block in the back. Alonzo Russell, the guilty culprit, but it happened so quick, I'm not sure how he could have had a illegal block.
I didn't see it either.
But anyway, good officiating crew. 29-yard line. This is Bethel's worst field position to begin a drive. And Collazo will come out. He's going to bring Faulkner in this time. Mitchell Faulkner, normally the running back when we get inside the red zone.
Manned up again. No safety.
Hand off Faulkner. Nice hold. Then they close it pretty quickly. And he only gets a couple of yards. I thought that was going to be more than that, but it closed very quickly, didn't it, Craig?
It did close very quickly. Their linebackers are doing a good job of filling holes and just going to where that guard's coming out on that pull to try to kick out. So they're doing a good job scraping and filling up.
Burris will go far side left. He's going to be over there with Taylor. Dixon's going to be by himself. Let's see if that safety sort of comes over or the corner's got him here one-on-one. It may be Dixon time. Now they shade him over late, trying to deceive him. Now they go underneath to Partee, the tight end, bounces off a couple people, and boy, he's hit hard. I mean, a great tackle.
Sure was.
Outstanding play by Nehemiah Mack from Cochran, Georgia, Beckley County High School. And all of a sudden, this Thomas defensive unit feeling better about themselves, third and about 6.
Collazo did a good job right there. You could see him looking at Dixon. He saw the safety roll over, double team. Dixon, he checks down to the tight end. Good read by Collazo.
Came underneath, yeah. But a great read by their defense, too. They bring pressure at Collazo.
Got him.
Going to throw it wide open. Yes. Taylor may score. 20, 15, 10, 5. Dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Cats.
Great job by Taylor reaching out and hitting that pylon to get the ball into the end zone.
66 yards with 1:51. Taylor from Collazo, and again, a great read by Collazo, the quarterback.
Just a little out and up route right there. Taylor goes out. He goes up. Defensive back bites on the out route. Easy pitch and catch right there. Hits him in stride.
23-7, the Cats with 1:51 left in the first. I guess I'm not sure I could spell juggernaut, but that's what Bethel's offense is right now. Johnson, the holder. Lyle, the snapper. Welch, who's only missed 2 all year, 26 of 28. The snap is back. The ball is down. The kick is up here into the south end zone. It sails, and it is true. 24-7 Bethel. Stay with us on Worthy Road Studios at 100.9. We're back after this on the Bethel Football Network. You guys okay over there? Keeping you busy? Slowly but surely. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. We're back here at Wildcat Stadium where the Cats had a 7-spot put against them defensively, and they come right back with 7 of their own, Craig Lund.
7 of their own with a beautiful pass from Collazo to Taylor. 66 yards to the house, and Collazo just lays it right there in stride, just like he dropped it in his hand, just set it there. Perfect pass, perfect run, perfect catch.
This offensive unit averaging 63 a game if you're just joining us. Number 1 in the country. We're not at the end of 1 yet, and it's 24 already on the board here. Here's Johnson, strong right leg. End over end. And is he going to bring it out? Yes, 1 yard deep. The returner will bring it out. And he's got a head of steam, and then he's hit hard at about the 20-yard line. He was going pretty quick, and all of a sudden it just stopped, didn't it?
Yeah, I think number 36, Hornbuckle, lowers his head gill.
Got a couple little chicken scratching going on here. Excuse me, Craig.
That's okay.
We had Javante Carter and Gabriel Hansen, and they were not talking about going to Big Daddy's to eat barbecue later. 21-yard line. The kids from Thomasville will have it here. They play Kaiser next. You talk about a schedule. My goodness. Bethel on the road. Then we come back home for 3 straight games. 24-7. 7 home games this year for Bethel. That's almost unheard of. They run the option. Nice play by Carter. Dishes it off. And running the ball effectively, they will be Braden Denmark.
Tackle made by number 12, Clark, for the Wildcats. And we lost contain on the outside right here on the replay, if we see it. The option comes down. We had the pitch man, we had the quarterback, but we lost it on the outside there, and he was able to turn it up for a first down.
Jason Clark, one of my all-time favorite Lambeth players, Meg Sanders. She was from Fayetteville, but she didn't say Fayetteville. She said Fayetteville.
It's Fayetteville. Yeah.
24-7. That's a first down run. Nice decision by the quarterback, who's under the center again, hands it off. That's the play they scored on a moment ago. They've got some running room again, and dashing his way with the rubber pellets flying everywhere. That is carrying the ball that time, Amaker, and he's all the way up to the 44-yard line. Another first down, 2 runs, and 2 first downs.
Yeah, they like that fullback play right there. They hand it off. He goes off the right side. Safety stay up top. He comes down and picks up the first down.
Craig, that's the same play they ran. They scored on. He just went a little bit to the outside a little bit more, didn't he?
Sure did.
1st and 10. Great to work with you, sir. Voice of the McKenzie Rebels. 24-7. You got home earlier than I did last night. That's a long way from Parsons back to Jackson.
I'll double it up about week number 9 since we got to go down to Memphis, almost to Mississippi.
I go to Memphis next week, Harding Academy. Here's the handoff. Nothing there at all. The Cats pushing back and coming out there with the ball is going to be Jerwin Young, but Jerwin, they called it dead, sir. This is a very deep defensive line, very talented. And the big thing about Bethel's offensive and defensive lines, they have all great feet.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You can be big and you can be small on those lines, but if you got good feet, buddy, that's a big part. That's going to end the first quarter. We're at the end of 1. Bethel leads at 24-7. When we come back, the Hawks will have it. The Nighthawks be 1st and 10 at their own 44. Stay with us. A 60 on the Bethel Football Network.
Doggone it. Did you forget to call 811 before you started digging? 811 is free, easy, and the law. 811 will contact all underground utilities to have your lines marked. Don't wind up in the doghouse. Call or click 811 before you dig. We want to keep you safe. Thanks for trusting the West Tennessee Public Utility District.
The Johnsonville TVA Credit Union wants to finance your next car loan. Come in and get pre-approved before you go car shopping. Come by any branch, and Johnsonville TVA Credit Union will help with payments to fit your budget. Is your rent too high somewhere else? Bring it to Johnsonville TVA Credit Union and park in a low rate. 4 locations to serve you and Cullingwood, New Johnsonville, and Cumberland City. Johnsonville TVA Utilities Credit Union. Your lender joins when it comes to borrowing money.
We normally would have you the stats at the first quarter. We're having a little stat issue, but Austin Childers, Claire, and Deshaun working really hard on that. They'll have that for you at halftime. And, Craig, dissect the first quarter. 15 minutes in, Bethel leads by 17, 24-7.
Well, it just kind of, we go back to what we talked about in pregame. Bethel just comes out and is doing what they do. You know, Collazo just pick it up where he left off last week. Receivers playing well, and the defense playing extremely well as well. Gave up the 1 touchdown, but give credit to the Nighthawks on their drive. They
come out of the wing formation this time. Carter carried it, and nothing there at all. He is stopped. First guy there was Darian Burns, and others helping him out. Big number 96. That's going to be Christian Cantrell. A loss. Well, actually a gain of 1, 3rd down and 9. 47% last week in 3rd down conversions. Carter gets the play instructions from his offensive coordinator across the way, and he'll come back in.
He pulled that ball down. He had 3 big white jerseys just covering him up,
Smothered him, didn't they?
They sure did.
3rd down and 9. 14-20 left in the first half. Bethel leads 24-7. Big play here. Carter in the pocket. Dumps it off, and great tackle. Open field in space tackle that time by Franks, and that kept them. If he didn't make that tackle, Butler's probably going to get the first down. He's going to be about 5 yards short, 4th and 5.
Yeah, great job by Franks right here, and a good check down by the quarterback.
We had people coming in pursuing, but I think he probably made the first down, though, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he would have gotten another 5 yards for that second. That safety would have came up and made the tackle.
Frank's 3rd leading tackler on the team. Kendrick Walker is 2nd. Brian Hughes, we documented earlier, is number 1. The punter will be Waddell. He'll stand back near his 35. Gilbert will stand inside his 20 to receive the punt.
Oh, they moved.
Bethel saying they moved, but no flag.
Yeah.
4th and about 5. Trying to draw Bethel off sides, what they're trying to do, but now they're going to go ahead. Waddell's going to punt it. And a wobbly punt that Gilbert's probably going to let, and now it's touched at about the 22-yard line. And down there by Adrian Traylor.
You know, they had to, I know they had it in minus territory right there, right at the 50. 4th down and 5, down, basically 3 scores. Might have been an opportunity right there, maybe just to roll the dice one time and go for it early in the second half or second quarter.
I think you're right, but the initial thing, I think they tried to draw us offside, and when they said, nope, not going to do it, they went ahead and punted it. Here's Braswell in the game, number 27. That's Dakota Braswell. Had the 65-yard run last week. Leading rusher last week, Craig, while you were gone with 90 yards. And they give it to Braswell. Braswell will turn it inside the hash, struggling, still struggling, and it's a scrub up to about the 30-yard line. He's going to pick up about 8 yards.
Take your pick on who made that tackle, Dave. A tidal wave of green jerseys over there.
Sure did. Boy, he kept it going, though. McBride is the guy that's credited for the stop. Here's Taylor back in. Partee, the linebacker, the tight end comes out. It's 2nd down and a short 2. Ball just over the 30-yard line, short of the 31. Collazo will set his back to his right. Doubles here to the near side. Collazo's got the full package. They come with a blitz. Collazo stands in that pocket. Mr. Cool out here wide open. That's Bowles. Bowles will be at the 50-yard line and hit hard but out of bounds. Coach Jasper helping him up. Jacob Bowles, the young man from Adamsville, Tennessee. Former Cardinal down there. They've got a lot of tradition down there.
They sure do. Tackle made by number 3, Corey Williams.
He was wide open too, wasn't he?
He was. A good check down right there. Again, Collazo making his progressions. Just checks it down there to the tight end, and Bowles turns it up and makes some big yards.
And credit the offensive line. They came with a blitz, and Bethel picked it up.
Did a great, outstanding job picking up that blitz.
24-7. Braswell make it Faulkner dropping that ball, and Faulkner, he dropped it. And the Nighthawks said they have it, and they do. He never really got the full package that time. Good handoff by Galazzo. He just bobbled it from the very get-go, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure did. It was not a clean handoff right there, so point right there. Excuse me. You said Kaiser. I said point. Thomas Yu right on top of it there to get the ball back, about where they punted it from.
Yeah, no doubt. They'll play Kaiser next week. I'm not sure. That's at Kaiser, too, down in Florida. Not quite a long trip for them as it would be for us. As Zach O'Kelly used to call him, Keiser. 24-7, 12:02 left here. At the 45-yard line, just at the right hash, will be Carter and company, the green-clad youngsters from Georgia. One receiver high to your screen there. One here below us. They put a man in motion, send him far side left. They flip it back. They use him for a block, trying to get outside, and a really nice play there. And turning the corner with positive yards is Amaker. Thought I saw a flag come in, but that's not the case.
Lewis runs him out of bounds, but he gets, I think, just short of the first down by about 4 yards.
Yep. His body wound up being near the chain or the marker, but he'd gone out of bounds across the way at about the 49-yard line of the Cats. So it's going to be 2nd down and a short 5. 11:40 left in the first half.
Nighthawks doing a good job of mixing up their offense. They came out and run that option, just option. Then they run a little tall sweep. They'll pull it and throw it a little bit. So they're really trying to keep that Wildcat defense off balance with some different type of offensive plays.
See the graphics that Paul and Christopher and the gang have put in the screen there for you. It's going to be handoff again, same guy, and he runs it only about a yard or two, and the Cats get him there and pin him to the turf. Franks is in on the stop. And you got
King in there, too.
King, yeah, Xavier King, the big guy from Brownsville again, the X-Man.
Now you're in plus territory, 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, they'll go for it, I would think.
Yeah.
2 down territory here, I would think. Well, they get the fumble on Faulkner's snafu, and now the Nighthawks trying to capitalize. 3rd down and 3. 10:40 in the and now Carter stumbles, but he's going to get his footing back. He's going to turn, and he's blasted. And that ball thrown up for grabs and almost picked off and incomplete. He's fair game, and that was a good, clean hit. But, boy, he was hit hard coming out, and we'll see it here as he comes out of bounds. Watch this hit, Craig Lund.
But again, just a good job of extending and not stumbling again.
Sure.
Keeps the play, extends his hands, eyes downfield. Finally just tries to dump it off. Ill-advised throw right there. Should have been easily picked off by number 20, Javante Carter, for the Wildcats.
He was lucky it wasn't picked off.
Yeah.
Cats will send Gilbert back. Gilbert, great defensive player, a lot of interceptions, great returner. Bethel always has one or two guys each year that are just, when it comes to special teams, they're special.
Wildcats about an extra yard off the ball.
Here's the punt and a low line drive. Almost hit a Bethel player, and now it goes right through the legs of Gilbert and will skitter out of the end zone. Got lucky that time. That ball, if that hits him, it's fair game.
It went right between his legs.
Sure did. Well, the Cats will have it, 1st and 10, leading the game 24-7. Read about this game tonight later, along with our tennis results up in Georgetown, volleyball up in Lebanon, bass, golf. I'm not sure if I'll get to everything, but we'll get to everything we can at BethelAthletics.com. Then tomorrow we'll do our Sunday morning before church duties as we will nominate folks for Players of the Week. And then we'll do our voting Monday. We can't vote for our own team, but we always enjoy doing that every Monday morning. Well, the Cats will have Collazo in the gun. And here's Faulkner back there to block for him. Throws it out here. It's open and caught by Taylor. Taylor now has become another weapon in this arsenal, hasn't he, Craig?
He sure has. I mean, you got Dixon on one side and then Taylor on the other side. Just the 1-2 punch again. But Collazo, great timing throw right there on the out route to Taylor.
He's really cool back there. Handoff. Faulkner up to the 37. I like what offensive coordinator Coach Bright's done here. Even after the fumble, though, he put Faulkner right back out there and showing some confidence in him.
Freshman, young, 24, Mitchell Faulkner, freshman from Arlington.
Arlington, Tennessee, my hometown. When I lived there, there's about 2,500. Now there's about 25,000. Just outside Memphis, 18 miles from the city limits, down Highway 70 to Summer Avenue. Drove it many times. 2nd down and 6. After the pickup of 4, Collazo drops, plenty of time in the pocket. Throws wide open. Caught. That is going to be Dixon. Dixon, great stiff arm to the 40. Finally brought down. Good tackle there in space by McBride, or he's going to score. And again, he's got those Peyton Manning little feet back there, patting the turf, and he throws it.
I tell you what, give credit to the offensive line.
Sure.
They're giving Collazo all day and half a Sunday to throw the football.
And that gives the quarterback just the mental confidence, too. Now this time he has to be flushed out of there. He's going to run it. He'll run it to the 30 and do a little dance over there and just get out of bounds about the 20. Let me tell you this. Coach Jasper and Coach Bright both are down there going, son, don't do that. Go out of bounds, please.
Yeah.
And he's out of bounds across the way about the 21. You don't want him running unless he just has to.
Did a little two-step, high step
He
right
did.
there.
He's doing a little Texas two-step. It's going to be 1st and 10. He looked like Derek Hubble at the buffet. Here is Collazo. Collazo throwing. Caught by Taylor inside the 5. Struggling, trying to get to the end zone, and they'll deny him at about the 2-yard line.
Be 1st to go, though, for the Cats inside the 5.
Well, I guess Big Daddy's still watching and listening, but what day are we going down for our free lunch this week?
Well, I'll tell you what, I can't say enough about Big Daddy Mark Anderson. Every Friday night at home games, about 5:15, he'll come up there and bring me 2 chicken sandwiches. John Davis, my partner, takes care of the press box up there at McKenzie.
He's a good one, no doubt. 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. Handoff, no. Play fake.
Oh.
And drop. You don't see that often.
Sure
Play
don't.
fake to Faulkner, fool everybody, and Dixon dropped the football in the end zone. A rare drop for Big Dixon.
That was just too easy.
Yep. He was open too, wasn't he?
Yeah, just a quick slant to the inside off the 3-yard line. He was wide open.
That was a really nice play fake to Faulkner. I thought Faulkner had the ball, and all of a sudden Collazo throws a dart. It was a hard thrown ball, but Dixon will be the first to tell you, JD, he'll tell you should have caught it.
It's there again if he wants it.
Yep, Collazo. This time to Faulkner, and he snuffed right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there at all.
We fumbled the football again.
Did we?
Yeah, we got it back.
Well, Bethel in the red zone this year, coming in, I told you they were 20 of 20. We've had it there, twice today? Once today.
Once today.
So we're 21 of 21. Got to keep the streak alive. Of course, if you don't get it, you got to go for the field goal. And the pistol, now they move Faulkner out of that formation. Dixon here, single coverage. Collazo looks right, Wants to go back to Dixon. Looking, still looking. Throws it to Dixon. Out of bounds. Good defense. That's credit the Mighty Hawks, or the Nighthawks in this case. They are the Mighty Hawks that time. That's really good defense. They had them covered that time, didn't they?
Yeah, had brought pressure on Palazzo. Extended the play, tried to, but downfield, that's a secondary coverage. It was excellent. Had to throw it away. Welch on for the kick.
Lyle the snapper, Johnson the holder, and Welch will attempt. He's 4-4 in the year. He'll mark it down to 12, a 22-yard hash mark right field goal attempt. Now the officials call a timeout. I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, we got a player at the 10-yard line on the outside of the field over there.
He's under the weather.
Heat getting to him. Yeah.
We had that with one of our guys early this year. It was not a pretty scene.
It wasn't.
7:22, 24-7. Matter of fact, Christopher will tell you that we had a young lady working with us, great kid, but she got a little under the weather in that heat down there, didn't she, Chris? Yeah, sure did. We didn't get that on camera, though. I know we didn't get to do that. Yeah. Chris said sadly. No, gladly you didn't do it.
I can say blessed to be sitting in this press box
yeah,
today.
And it's warm up here now.
It is.
After being really cold in here in the mornings. 60 degrees our low temp when people got out tonight or this morning. 86 right now, getting up to 87. Snap is back. The ball is down. The field goal attempt is up, and it is good. And he hasn't missed. He's 4-4 in the year, and the Cats extend their lead to 27-7 at the 7:19 mark. 22-yard field goal by Mr. Welch. 27-7 Cats back after this 30 on the Bethel Football Network.
If you're looking to purchase or refinance a home, or maybe you need a home equity line of credit, call the folks at Holly Credit Union and talk to one of their experienced loan officers. At Holly Credit Union, their goal is to provide members with low-cost, high-quality financial services and a friendly, personal environment. So call them today at 644-9031 to schedule an appointment to discuss your home loan situation. That's Holly Credit Union.
Deposit insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Visit Holly Credit Union of Paris.
This next week in sports on the campus, Brescia will come calling in volleyball Tuesday night. The soccer teams will be in action here at 1 and 3 Friday. Volleyball will take on Lindsey Wilson at 6 that night. That's the home events on the schedule. Football will be on the road at Cumberland's, and we'll have other folks on the road as well. We had one of those weekends. We had about 5 teams out on the road this weekend.
Wow, yeah.
The Cats here at home, though. Bethel trying to win in the history of the Cats, approaching 200. Here's Johnson. A couple more to get there, even if they have to win this, if they do. And that ball dropped back at the 5-yard line, but picking up back there, he's in deep trouble. 20 chasing 20. He's still in trouble. He's near the goal line. He's at the 5, and he's going to be down inside the 5. That went south real quick, didn't it, into the south end zone?
It sure did, and got away with a block in the back, a little skirmish going on down there in the corner of the end zone.
Well, dropping it was Mack, who had a big play early in the game, but he dropped that one, and he was like running around trying to find something open, and we had the other 20, Javante Carter, closing in on the first guy there. Then others got there again at the 5-yard line, 1st and 10.
I thought he was going to go run into the end zone.
I did too.
Which
so
ill-advised.
Sure was. Hamilton out there, the first guy out there. Cats will send out Nelson Lewis also. And Bethel will send out some fresh faces out there too. Is Justin, or make it Darian Lewis. And some reserves in there at the defensive line. 1st and 10 at the 5. When you got the opponent at the 5, you can't get out there quick enough. Now here's a handoff and a loss back to the 1-yard line. Good grief.
Great job by
pursuit.
Great pursuit by that reserve defensive line, if you will. And again, just speaks to the depth of this Wildcat defense.
Yeah, because you've got some new Hamiltons out there, but you look, and out there too for the Wildcats in this case. Caleb Van Dyke, is he out there? No, that's not 80. That's not 58. Out there too is Kendrick Walker, the leading tackler. Cats have out there too Darian Lewis, we mentioned. So they give him forward progress, Craig, back to about the 2.5, 3-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd and 12. Under center, Carter, the little quarterback, keeps it and hit hard My goodness, the flank, he wanted to get there, and it wasn't there. Watch this replay for you folks watching on the ballgame blitz. I mean, he was blitzed that time. See if we got the replay there. There it is. Craig, watch this. Nothing there at all. I mean, staying right at home.
Cats do a good job of keeping their eyes where they need to be and stay at home, like you said.
There was an infraction on Thomas, and Bethel declined the penalty.
Had two guys moving in the backfield, I would think.
Do that. You can do that in Canada, but you can't do it down here.
Yeah, because as soon as they snapped it, he threw the flag.
They actually give him about a yard, so it's 3rd down and 11 now from the 4. Well, Bethel already leading 27-7, under 6 minutes now. 5:55 in the first half. Carter has gone under center every time thus far. He drops back, slips, comes out of the end zone, and picked off. Is it caught? Yes. It is intercepted by Cortez Eatman. Flag came in at the 20. That might be pass interference. Eatman intercepted it, but might have got there. Someone got there, I think, even before he did, and pass interference.
Could get it for a hole, too.
Yep. Brian Hughes, the guy that's talking to Coach Jasper, he wants an explanation. Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be, Craig. We'll sort it out here. So what, Brian Caroline? Yep, that's what it is. Yep. 15-yard penalties. So Eatman's interception is taken away. He's not happy.
Let's see the replay on that one.
Ill-advised throw no matter what you look at, too, from the quarterback perspective. He's back there in the end zone. Rushes out. Almost slipped again.
Ooh. Dave?
I'm not sure about that call.
I think he just went over the top of him right there. It didn't make any contact that I could see.
Fair game if you just don't run his back.
That's right.
Well, they move the ball out to 19. It's going to be 1st and 10 there. New quarterback in there. Is that a new quarterback? Oh, it's still Carter. He slips down. Boy, he had trouble today.
Sure is.
Slipping down. That is a new quarterback. That's Charles Britt. He's a lefty and looks a little bit like Carter. But Britt is a new quarterback, number 12. We'll pass it on to our stat folks. Sophomore from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Northeast High School. Charles Britt, 12, the new quarterback. So at the 19, it's going to be a loss. Well, no gain. No loss. First, we'll make it 2nd and 10. Clock running under 5. Long first half, Craig.
It is long first half. Cats up 27-7.
Running that option again. Britt slides down again. I mean, he's got some running room if he doesn't fall.
It's almost like their cleats aren't long enough to really get in that turf.
21-yard line, pickup of 2. So it's 3rd down and 8 now. 4.5 left, and that's about the 3rd time in a row back in the end zone they slipped, and now twice on these running plays after the penalty.
Yeah, just trying to make their cuts and their feet, just sliding out from under them.
3rd down. The Cats could come out of this with great field position if they can stop them. Britt, he's in the gun. Empty backfield. No, he's got one running back there behind him. Cats threaten the blitz with Brian Hughes. Now he backs off. 27-7.
Cats don't blitz a whole lot.
No, they don't. And here is Britt keeping it, trying to turn the corner. The Cats trying to deny him the first down. Great hustle, but I think he's going to come up a little short.
Well, he spins out of a for sure tackle. Cats had him. He just keeps spinning, keeps his feet churning, was able to spin it out and push the ball out to the 30.
No, he gets the first down. Well, no, he did not.
No, he did not.
And they stepped. I thought the way they were acting, he got it, but he did step out back at about the 26-yard line.
That's the reason why I said 30. I was watching where they were sliding it down over there.
It looked like they were going to give it to him, didn't it? And the punter in to punt it.
Cats ought to get in great field position right here.
Waddell, he'll get it away from about his 15-yard line. They should, yeah. Gilbert back at about his own 45. We approach the 3-minute mark. 3:20 left in the half. Bethel leading 27-7. Here's Waddell's punt, sidewinder. And it's knocked down there and almost hit another Wildcat, almost hit Gilbert again. He's getting pretty dangerously close to that thing. He knows what he's doing, though. And it will be Coach Jasper talking to him a little bit right now. I think Coach Jasper was saying, get away from that thing, son. Don't get that close.
See, a football's not round.
Yeah, that's right.
It could hit and go all kind of directions.
At the 32-yard line, the Cats will have it there, 1st and 10. The coaches come out to Chris Farina from time to time in the mornings and play basketball. It's good that they can coach football. Collazo, I mean, every once in a while you'll see a pretty good shot, but, boy, there's some bricks. 3:03 left in the first half. 27-7. Collazo in the pocket. Time to throw. Dixon doesn't drop this one. 40. Struggles his way near the first down chain. I think he may have it. Let's wait and see. Depending on where they spot it.
I believe that side judge over there said move him. He does.
Yep. Use the right foot. If he'd used the left foot, it would have been about a half a yard short.
My partner John Davis says it depends on which foot he puts down, left or right.
Yeah. 1st and 10, 42-yard line. As the Cats have it now with Collazo. Plenty of time again. Target practice. Tight end over the middle, caught. 45-yard line. Bowles again, the big tight end who's becoming a weapon in his own right. Another first down, Craig, to the 42-yard line.
Collazo just looks so poised back there, just all kinds of time, able to pick his poison, like you said, survey the field, check down. He's finding his open receiver because of the offensive line doing such a great job.
It's almost like he's saying, let me have another bite of this cookie before I throw it. Here he is again, double clutches, throws it, and dropped. I think he'd been out of bounds anyway.
Yeah.
Taylor couldn't come up with it. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Did a good job right there, the running back, staying in and blocking for Collazo.
Let me say, though, Thomas, after falling down 17-0, they become very competitive right now, and you expect them to be. I mean, these guys are, many of them are older guys, 48 in the National Guard, 8 have completed service in the military. So they're not scared of anybody, let me tell you.
That's what I'm saying, they're disciplined.
Yeah.
I mean, once they get into the groove, I mean, we're out of athlete them right now, I think,
Sure.
but they're disciplined.
Collazo dances for the first time today. He tries to throw it away, but is it caught? Yeah, they're going to give him reception.
I think that's a good catch. We'll see it right here on the
Dixon, a marker on the play back there. That's going to be a holding back at about the 45-yard line. Or that or illegal receiver downfield. Take your pick.
Yes.
Wait and see.
It's 51. He's downfield, but
Yeah.
that's a great catch over on that sideline.
Yep. That's one of those deals, too, when you're out in open space, you're trying to say, okay, let me see if I can sneak back. No, they get holding.
They got a hold. Well,
Probably could have called either one.
they could have.
They called the holding on Logan Davis, the senior offensive lineman from Jacksonville, Florida. Warner University transfer. I talked last week, Craig, when you were gone, when Jeremy was here, we talked about how many different players in this team new to this Bethel program from other schools, colleges.
Yeah, for sure. I think I heard you guys talking about that. And again, just the effects of Bethel having a great program and kids, the graduate transfers coming in.
2nd down now and 20. They get some pressure on Collazo. They force him out of the pocket, and he's got to throw it. Another flag comes in. That's going to be another hole. That could be Logan Davis again. It's either he or Surratt. Surratt is acting like, oh, my goodness, why did I do that? Look at him. Look at his body language. He's not right. I think it's on Surratt. Surratt's walking back there going, They caught me.
I'm going to decline this penalty.
No, they get 51. I was wrong on both cases. So Surratt will give me Dylan Morales, the guilty culprit.
260 out of Laverne, Tennessee.
Yeah, now it's 3rd down and 20. A minute 34. At their own 48. It's 3rd and 18 if you're keeping score at home. And as I always tell Stan Gerard, Freddie Garrett back in Jackson, if you're keeping score, you need counseling at home. 3rd down, I should say, and almost 18 yards. They set up this little bubble screen, picked off. You don't see that very often, but Collazo, a ill-advised throw and picked off. And a nice play there defensively by big number 56, Deontay Reed from Florida. And, boy, he was just waiting in the wings for that, wasn't he?
He was. Look, he plays that so well. He sees it coming. He just stands his ground. And what you want him to come at that quarterback so he can dump it over the top. He stayed at home, kept his ground, was able to pick the pass off.
I'd like to say Joaquin probably didn't see him, but you got to see somebody that big. But you don't see that ill-advised throw. Well, a fumble, an interception when Bethel had momentum both times, and it's hurt them a little bit here. They lead the game still. It's 27-7. Could be more.
And I can assure you at halftime those two issues are going to be addressed by this coaching staff.
I would think so. Well, the score here, you've got a ball game. Not that we don't have one already. Here's the option. Running it.
Oh.
Man, boy, a big hit. Eatman put a helmet in that time. Denmark's helmet. It wasn't targeting, but boy, it didn't take much more. It would have been, wouldn't it?
That was Hughes on the tackle.
Was it Hughes?
Yeah,
Excuse me. Yeah, Brian Hughes, number 1. Yes.
That was a big stick. Look at it right here. Boom. Oh, Dave.
You agree with me?
Yeah.
I mean, there could be a case that they could have called it.
They could have.
Second down and 5. I'm glad they didn't. 27-7, and Brian Hughes is glad they didn't either. 27-7. That rule, obviously a good rule to protect people, but boy, it's so close sometimes.
It is.
Yep. One way or the other. 4-man down lineman for the Cats. You watch on your screen, and you listen to us on the radio side. Hand off to the fullback this time, and now fumble, and they're going to pick it up and run it. That's got to be run in, I think, into 5, the 4, the 3, the 2, the 1, touchdown. The fumble recovered that time by Hall, Tramell Hall, a backup quarterback. He picked it up and went in from about 30 yards, Craig Lund.
Wow, what a break for the Nighthawks. Had that played well.
35 Hall ran it in.
And Hall picks it up and just scampers down the middle of the field for the touchdown.
We're going to give him a 30-yard. Bethel is challenging, and for the first time we'll go down the tent down to our north end zone. Well, the fumble, and Hall picked it up at the 30-yard line and ran it in.
Yeah, sure ran it in, and Coach Jasper's going to challenge that the ball was already down when the ball popped out. So it'll be interesting to see this call here. Good challenge, I think, by Coach Jasper, though.
Well, they'll go down to the tent and watch this. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. And 27-6, it stands right now, or 27-7. And we'll see when we come back what they tell us. Back after this quick 30 on the Bethel Football Network.
Are you always on the go trying to cram a job, picking up the kids, and all of your other errands to be made out right? Girl Making Trust is proud to offer mobile banking that allows you to bank on the go. And makes it convenient for you. The mobile app allows you to check your balance, track your money, all from the palm of your hand. 24/7. How's that for convenient? Girl Making Trust is proud to offer banking options that fit into your money schedule. Girl Making Trust is equal housing lender, never have to ask. Always online, Girl Making Trust.
Well, we understand we've had a little problem with Craig's mic. That's my fault, not his. But we got you turned up, Craig, and let's see what this decision is going to be on the fumble recovery for a touchdown. See if they wipe it off, or will it stand serve?
Well, I couldn't really tell from my vantage point. I saw the ball fly out, but it was in a host of players down there, so it may be hard for the replay officials looking at the play to make a determination. It may just have to be play stand as called.
All right. Let's see what we have here. So it will be 27-7 now. They have 27-6 on the board. It should be 27-7, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, because they kicked the field goal. It was good. Yeah, 27-7.
No, I'm talking. Yeah, now it was 27-6 they had on the board, so now they've got it back up here.
Yeah.
Let's see what we've got here. The officials, you see a great shot by Christopher in the gang. Worthy Road Studios staff today. Paul Schulte, of course. He had to leave. He's got a union volleyball today. Christopher Reasons, the director. Ashley Janda, the replay operator. Cameras, Eric Emmon. And on the field, Billy Boland. Billy's earning his keep down there in the heat. So we'll see what they call here.
Here's your score of interest. Florida State, Clemson, all tied up 24-24, 2:29 to go in the fourth.
How about that? That's a big one there. That's a game we didn't even talk about earlier, too, isn't it?
38-21, your Cats up on Vandy, 7:55 to go in the fourth, Dave.
Okay, well, they had a 24-0 lead at one time. A.J. Schwann's a really good quarterback, though, so we'll see how that parlays out. Well, your Vols kick off at 3, we said.
Yep.
You look at some other scores around the country. I know the Yankees were rained out today. Of course, no one cares about the Yankees at this point in the baseball season, but the Cubs knocking on the door and Reds knocking on the door. It's going to be interesting. I love the last playoff spot they put in baseball.
So the challenge by Coach Jasper
pays off.
Well,
they'll have it at the 34, so it would have been a 34-yard return, so I'm glad we didn't write all that down. So at the 34-yard line, it's 1st and 10 there. Well, Coach Jasper and them had a good look at it. Now timeout, Thomas. Let's take a quick timeout, and we'll come back. This will be a 30-second break. 1:08 left, 27-7. That score still stands. We'll come back after this with Bethel leading, but the Thomas University Nighthawks threatening. Stay with us, everybody.
We're proud to call Huntington one of our new hometowns. Now serving Huntington and all of Carroll County, Hometown Health Clinic is open on the Court Square, featuring family practice, internal medicine, pediatrics, mental health, a Suboxone program, and convenient care. Hometown Health Clinic, staffed with folks you know, caring for families just like yours. On the Court Square in Huntington and online at hometownclinics.com.
Dave McCulley, Craig Lund back with you here today at Wildcat Stadium. The Cats lead the game 27-7, and Craig Coach Jasper, the game right down on top of it. It happened right in front of them, so a good decision by the coaching staff to challenge.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you're right, Dave. It was right in front of our bench. Clearly could see that ball pop out. We couldn't see it up here. We just saw the ball squirt forward and 35 for the Nighthawks pick it up and take off with it. But great challenge by Jasper and the Cats defense able to go back out there and maybe get a turnover.
So Bethel leads the game 27-7. Craig will have stats for you at halftime. We'll have a scoring recap. Tom Yarborough, our producer on the radio side. 1st and 10 to the 34-yard line. Bethel will set up shop defensively here, trying to, well, Craig, they say your mic's not any better, so we're going to have to work on that here during the break. Not sure what's going on with that.
Not sure.
And we'll turn it up a little bit more here on our side. And here's the handoff, and nothing much there at all.
Try to run the option play right there, and the quarterback nowhere to go. He's wrapped up and dropped behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 2.
I got you turned up even a little bit more, so hopefully that will work that time a little better. And now another timeout, so a loss of 2. It's 2nd down and 12. Let's remind you today's corporate sponsors, as always. Our games being brought to you by Trevathian Electrical Services, Carroll Bank and Trust, Anchor Transportation, Nicky Joe Stafford, Smith & Smith Optometry, West Tennessee Public Utilities, Centennial Bank, City Floors, and State Farm. We mentioned next week at the Cumberlands, then Bethel comes back home. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Day on the 7th. Georgetown, the Tigers will come calling. They're ranked in the top 25. Georgetown right now, number 12. Following week, Roosevelt University out of Chicago. It'll be Rap Day and Coach to Cure Muscular Dystrophy Day that day. That's a noon kickoff. Then homecoming on the 21st, Cumberland University. Then on the road for 2 straight games, Faulkner and Campbellsville. Then the home finale. How big will that game be? It will be as big as both teams play it out. Lindsey Wilson and Bethel here on the 11th of November.
That game there could have a lot of implications for playoffs, championship, everything right there.
Home seedings and everything else. 2nd down and 12. Working with it. Here is the rush, and it will be a sack.
96 for the Cats. Cantrell gets in there. Then 95 for the Cats. King finishes him off. What a great defensive pressure by that interior line to rush up the quarterback and drop him.
Well, a drop back that time. We're trying to do the broadcast, and we've got this walkie-talkie right in front of us. I'm not sure what all is going on there. A big loss, 3rd down and about 17 now, or make it 3rd and 18. The ball all the way back. Great defense by the Cats that time. Back to the 42. Here's the ball. It goes right through the hands of the quarterback. The back's back there. He gets it on the bobble, and he's hit at the 42, no gain, and knocked out of bounds by Bethel. Strange-looking play there. Coming out of there with it is Amaker.
It's almost like the quarterback wasn't ready for the snap.
Yeah.
He saw it. It comes off his hands. And like you said, Dave, it goes right into the hands of the running back. And the Cats are going to burn a timeout right here.
27-7 Bethel, and timeout. We'll come back after this 30 on the Bethel Football Network.
Coming or going, the first move should take you to Taylor Real Estate and Auction on Spain and Huntington. The Taylor Real Estate and Auction going where the is the key to real estate satisfaction. And no one does it better than Taylor Real Estate and Auction. Their hours are Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, and appointments can be made for other days and times. So whether you're in the market for real estate or looking for an auction company, call 986-8578. Knowledge is power. Taylor Real Estate and Auction.
Welcome back to Wildcat football, 14 seconds to go in before half. Cats lead 27-7. Nighthawks set to punt the football away after the Cats take a timeout to try to maybe get something going with 14 seconds to go before the halftime.
I believe that's a little better, my friend. You sound like Bill Haney with a hot mic. Sounded much better. Here's the punt. A little bit of delay, and now the sidewinder. And it's caught. And a fair catch by Patterson, who hasn't been able to show his wares yet. Now we got a little skirmish around the 30-yard line. I heard an interesting stat the other day. And that was caught by Patterson, 18. The stat I was going to tell you was, I think, pretty staggering. In NCAA, there's like 67 Australian kickers.
Wow.
That's amazing, isn't it?
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And honestly, Tennessee has one. I don't like the way they kick. I don't like that side-to-side stuff. I guess I'm just a traditionalist. Drop back, hang it up high, and let somebody go down and cover.
Do a Ray Guy impression. Yeah, that's right. Well, it's going to be 1st and 10. The Cats' poorest field position they've had all day. 14 seconds. We'll make it 6 seconds. 14-yard line.
Look for the seam route right here.
Here's Collazo dancing back there. Still dancing. Looking. Now wants to throw it downfield. It's going to be caught by Dixon, who came back and helped him out. But that's going to end this first half. He caught it at about the 35, dropped it at the 36, and that's your halftime. You score at the break. And now we got some little chipping going on between the teams, getting a little chippy down there. And they break it up. 27-7 your score. The Cats lead by 20. We're back after this. 2-minute message, halftime activity, stats, and more here on the Bethel Football Network.
Going. The first move should take you to Taylor Real Estate and Auction on East Main and Huntingdon. The Taylor Real Estate and Auction, knowing where to begin is the key to real estate satisfaction, and no one does it better than Taylor Real Estate and Auction. Their hours are Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, and appointments can be made for other days and times. So whether you're in the market for real estate or looking for an auction company, call 986-8578. Knowledge is power. Taylor Real Estate and Auction.
Doggone it. Did you forget to call 811 before you started digging? 811 is free, easy, and the law. 811 will contact all underground utilities to have your lines marked. Don't wind up in the doghouse. Call or click 811 before you dig. We want to keep you safe. Thanks for trusting the West Tennessee Public Utility District.
The Johnsonville TVA Credit Union wants to finance your next car loan. Come in and get pre-approved before you go car shopping. Come by any branch, and Johnsonville TVA Credit Union will help with payments to fit your budget. Is your rate too high somewhere else? Bring it to Johnsonville TVA Credit Union and lock in a low rate. 4 locations to serve you: Camden, Huntingdon, New Johnsonville, and Cumberland City. Johnsonville TVA Employees Credit Union, your lender of choice when it comes to borrowing money. Member eligibility and loan period required. Insured by the NCUA.
If you're looking to purchase or refinance a home, or maybe you need a home equity line of credit, call the folks at Holly Credit Union and talk to one of their experienced loan officers. At Holly Credit Union, their goal is to provide members with low-cost, high-quality financial services in a friendly, personal environment. So call them today at 644-9031 to schedule an appointment to discuss your home loan situation. That's Holly Credit Union.
Deposit insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Visit Holly Credit Union of Paris.
Well, welcome back, everybody. We have made some, I'm not sure what's going on. So, try that again. Well, we've lost our mics. So let's do this. Let's take another 2-minute break along the line. Back after this. Stay with us, everybody. Guys, just bear with us. We have nothing. It's like we have no power here all of a sudden. Go wrong. I'll tell you what. It's just too much going on.
The mobile app allows you to or the palm of your hand. 24/7. How's that for convenient? Nobody Trust, we're proud to offer banking options that fit into your schedule.
Barely. There we go. I got you now, Dave.
All right, we're back. I can't
Now?
hear anything, and we're losing our mics.
Can't hear you. Can hear me.
I can hear you. We'll work on this and continue to work on it. Stay with us. Technical problems here in the press box. Back after this. Stay with us.
One of our new hometowns. Now serving Huntington and all of Carroll County. Hometown Health Clinic is open on the Foursquare, featuring family practice, internal medicine, pediatrics, mental health, a Suboxone program, and convenient care. Hometown Health Clinic, staffed with folks who love caring for families just like you. On the Foursquare in Huntington and online at hometownclinics.com.
Going, your first move should take you to Taylor Real Estate and Auction on Spain and Huntington. The Taylor Real Estate and Auction really works to give you the key to real estate satisfaction, and no one does it better than Taylor Real Estate and Auction. Your hours are Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, and appointments can be made for other days and times. So whether you're in the market for real estate or looking for an auction company, call 986-8578. Our auction is now at Taylor Real Estate and Auction.
Did you forget to call 811 before you started digging? 811 is free, easy, and the law. 811 will contact all underground utilities to have your lines marked. Don't wind up in the doghouse. Call or click 811 before you dig. We want to keep you safe. Thanks for trusting the West Tennessee Public Utility District.
Again, Craig, you talk for a minute if you would, sir.
There
we go. Now we're back with you. Well, we had some technical issues here in the box, and certainly glad to have those straightened out. I'm not sure what we did, but Craig, I can hear you a little better now.
I can hear you fine, too, as well,
I'm not
Dave.
sure what we did, but appreciate the patience of Tom Yarborough at the radio station and, of course, Christopher and all the gang here on Worthy Road Studios. Well, as we await the stats, we had a little snafu on the stats. So it's Murphy's Law here right now in the press box. But, Craig, your thoughts about this 27-7. You feel like Bethel probably should be leading by more, an interception, a fumble, but all in all, still leading by 20 here at the break.
Leading by 20 here at the break, and people across, the country, if they're looking at stats, halftime stats for this ball game, they're going to go, Bethel can't be playing too well, but that's not the case. Give credit where credit's due. Yes, the two fumbles the two turnovers, but the Thomas U. Nighthawks finally, after that first possession, second possession, kind of really settled in on their defensive side and really has played the Wildcats pretty well defensively, I think. And then offensively, they had some momentum going with their offense, running the option, and kind of switching up the offense a little bit. More of a toss sweep, setting up and passing, and give credit again to the quarterback. Doing a great job, extending plays, keeping his feet moving, letting his line block for him. He rolls out, able to keep his eyes downfield and find some open receivers that make some good plays for him.
Bethel led the game 17-0. I think one of the biggest parts of the game, if you're a Nighthawk fan, was when they held Bethel. Could have gone up 24-0, and they held us, and then they go back down the field and had the big fullback run right down the middle of the field.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I mean, great job defensively by them, and that's what you want to do. Your defense makes the plays. So we talk about complementing the offense and defense. Defense makes a play, holds Bethel. Your offense comes right back down the field, scores for them, and helps that defense out. Keeps them off the field, lets them get a little bit of a break as well.
It's sort of funny, though. You look at the standard of what's expected, the expectations. You lead by 20 at halftime, and we're sitting up here talking like we're behind. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and I'm sure that's a message Coach Jasper and his staff is going to give them inside the locker room. So, look, guys, we appreciate the effort right now, but we should be up by way more. Let's turn it up a notch.
Sure.
And and honestly, kids being kids, even though they're college kids, they're 18, 19, 21, 22 years old, they've had 2 easy weeks, could be getting a little complacent. You know what I mean? Looking over a little bit, maybe looking ahead a little bit to Cumberland's and letting this Thomas team kind of hang around too long.
And credit Bethel, it's 27-7. They've had a couple of thrusts where they got up in near midfield, and Bethel's defense hadn't stepped up. It could be even closer than it is.
Oh, no doubt about that. Thomas U, their game plan or their second half adjustments, their coach, we've got them. We're playing with them. Just continue the intensity. Continue doing what we do. And good things will happen. My guess is they're going to have to make something happen on a turnover. So when Bethel's got the offensive ball to try to get back in this and get it, cut the lead to at least a touchdown.
On the positive side, a big part of this game has been the protection of the offensive line is given Colazo.
Oh, wow. So much protection out there, I could go out there and throw the football. I mean, he's got all kinds of time to throw. If it does break down the field, he's able to go sideline to sideline, extend the plays, keeping his eyes downfield. Only made one bad throw, in my opinion, that he shouldn't have thrown. But other than that, Colazo's done a great job, and he's seen the green grass in front of him. He's taken off and ran it. And like you said, Coach Jasper's probably like, no. You get out of bounds. Come back and play again the next down, and don't do that tippy-toe stuff on the sideline we saw.
And again, our stat crew's done a great job, and we don't have the stats yet. But running attack just hasn't been very effective today at times.
You're exactly right. They did a good job closing down the gaps, filling and scraping the linebackers coming up, hitting us at the point of contact, at the line of scrimmage. But, again, we've run the ball just enough that opens up the passing game, and Colazo has all day with a hit Dixon and Taylor. Great 1-2 punch. And let's talk about Bowles. The check down to the tight end. Had two big catches there in the first half. Really helped us extend drives. Caught that one, turned it upfield for about a 35-yard pickup. Really set up the offense for the rest of the way.
Hey, fans, don't forget that Coach Michael Jasper is among those inducted into Bethel's Athletic Hall of Fame in October. The number 6 Wildcats will meet Cumberland University on October the 21st. We'll see how those teams are ranked at that point in time. The ceremony will take place that weekend. Actually, it's going to be on a Friday night, and then the nominees and inductees in this case will be honored again that day, that Saturday. But the banquet will be that Friday night. You can go to BethelU.edu for all the details of that. Coach Jasper will be inducted as a result of his playing career here at the school. He'll also be joined by Dave Jesse, a guy that you remember well, men's basketball.
I sure do. Big Dave, he was in school here when he was 2 years ahead of me. He graduated 2 years ahead of me, but a machine on the board. Of course, him and Matt English. Matt came in with me as a freshman, but Dave Jesse, great guy, well-deserved, just a great post player for Coach Mike Neighbor back in the 90s.
Ariel Montague, another athlete that will be inducted, women's track, great performer here through the years, All-American. Tom and Patty Calden, the contributors. They have been great contributors to Bethel University. Their son Kobe played on that Brent Dearman team that was so good, and they'll be here honored as well. For more information, again, on each inductee and how tickets can be purchased, that will be released soon. Congratulations to the inductees, and the athletic department of the university looks forward the October week and weekend to remember. By the way, folks, the 2023 football media guide is available now at the Bethel Athletic page. Keep up with the Cats this season with the online version. You can actually go to BethelAthletics.com and then go to media guides under Inside Athletics, and you'll find it all there as well. Let's take another break, a 2-minute break. We'll come back. Hopefully we got the mic straightened out now. When we come back, we'll ask Craig what he thinks and what can we expect. We'll dissect more of this first half and see what he thinks about what's going to happen in the second half. The Cats lead at the break 27-7. This is Bethel football. Stay with us, everybody. Yeah, that'd be great. Super.
Oh, you'd be super.
You want to watch it? And,
yeah,
that'd
be great.
Okay, great.
We can do that when we come back.
That's super.
Your hand 24/7. How's that for convenient? At Carroll Bank and Trust, we're proud to offer banking options that fit into your busy schedule. Carroll Bank and Trust, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Always online at carrollbank.com.
We're proud to call Huntington one of our new hometowns. Now serving Huntington and all of Carroll County, Hometown Health Clinic is open on the Court Square, featuring family practice, internal medicine, pediatrics, mental health, a Suboxone program, and convenient care. Hometown Health Clinic, staffed with folks you know that caring for families just like yours. On the Court Square in Huntington and online at hometownclinics.com. The first move should take you to Taylor Real Estate and Auction in Spain and Huntington. The Taylor Real Estate and Auction really works to give you real estate satisfaction. And no one does it better than Taylor Real Estate and Auction. Their hours are Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. And appointments can be made for other days and times. So whether you're in the market for real estate or looking for an auction company, call 986-8578. Knowledge is power. Taylor Real Estate and Auction.
Doggone it. Did you forget to call 811 before you started digging? 811 is free, easy, and the law. 811 will contact all underground utilities to have your lines marked. Don't wind up in the doghouse. Call
Call or click 811 before you dig. We want to keep you safe. Thanks for trusting the West Tennessee Public Utility District.
Well, we are happy to have some replays coming up here in a matter of moments. Craig Lund will lead you through those, but let's give you a couple of scores. Florida State, number 4, has beaten Clemson 31-24 in overtime. Not a good day for my buddy Hugh Freeze. Texas A&M has beaten Auburn 27-20 down in Texas. Meanwhile, some other scores, Duke and UConn scoreless early. And Craig, I'll get some other scores, but you've got the replays on what and how Bethel leads 27-7 here at the break.
No doubt about it. Collazo right here looking back to throw the football down the middle of the field. First touchdown right here, the first play of the game. Touchdown is good to Dixon. Puts the Cats up 7-0. Very first play of the game for the Cats. Then the defense comes out, holds the Nighthawks on 4 plays. They kick the ball away, punt it, picked up at the 48, and Demetrius Gilbert's going to do the rest. He's going to go right down to the left sideline in front of the point bench, or the Andrews bench, tight roping all the way down the sideline into the end zone for the second score of the day for the Bethel Wildcats. Kick was good by Welch, puts us up 14-0. Defense holds again right here. Or excuse me, this is the Nighthawks' one score of the game so far. They take the ball off the right side. Number 22 goes right off the right side into the end zone. Jalen White. A really good play right there by the Nighthawk defense, or excuse me, offense. They blocked it very well. He cut the ball to the outside, then cut it back against the grain, went right to the middle of the field. Bethel's secondary kind of got out of position right there and sprung it open for him. Collazo again. Looks to his right. Perfect pitch and catch right there to number 3, Jalen Taylor. Just led him perfectly. And like I said on the broadcast, just kind of dropped the football. He could have laid it right in his hands. He does the rest. Dives for the pound line. Hits it. Touchdown, Cats. And here comes the Hawks again. Fullback. Nothing there. Defense plays well. Ball pops out. And this is the one they picked up. They thought they had it. 35 takes it down to the end zone. He scores. Coach Jasper throws the challenge flag. New item this year in NAI, being able to challenge, and the Cats win that challenge. And that makes our score 27-7, 10:30 to go into half. Dave, I think the message for the Wildcats coming out in the second half, build on what we did, take away the 2 turnovers, and then let's build momentum for next week and get back to what we know we can do. I think Coach Jasper needs to come out and try to establish the run a little bit. Try to get that offense running, the football, because you got to have that next week in the Cumberlands. You've got a comfortable lead right now. Let's try to get our offensive linemen working on that, get our backs more active, and maybe try to run the football a little bit more and chew some of this clock up and keep that offense from the Nighthawks off the field.
Great job, Craig, and a great job by Chris and Ashley on the replays as well. Another 2-minute break. We're at halftime here from Wildcat Stadium on a hot Saturday afternoon, the first day of fall. But right now the Cats are not falling. They lead the game 27-7. Back after this 2-minute message on the Bethel Football Network.
The Johnsonville TVA Credit Union wants to finance your next car loan. Come in and get pre-approved before you go car shopping. Combining Branch and Johnsonville TVA Credit Union will help with payments to fit your budget. Is your rate too high somewhere else? Bring it to Johnsonville TVA Credit Union and lock in a low rate. 4 locations to serve you and Huntington, New Johnsonville, and Cumberland City. Johnsonville TVA Employees Credit Union. More lender choice when it comes to borrowing money.
If you're looking to purchase or refinance a home, or maybe you need a home equity line of credit, call the folks at Holly Credit Union and talk to one of their experienced loan officers. At Holly Credit Union, their goal is to provide members with low-cost, high-quality financial services in a friendly, personal environment. So call them today at 644-9031 to schedule an appointment to discuss your home loan situation. That's Holly Credit Union.
Deposit insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Visit Holly Credit Union of Paris.
Are you always on the go trying to cram a job, pick up the kids, and all of your other errands into an 8-hour day? Carol Bank and Trust is proud to offer mobile banking that allows you to bank on the go and make banking convenient for you. The mobile app allows you to check your balance, transfer money, all from the palm of your hand, 24/7. How's that for convenience? At Carroll Bank and Trust, we're proud to offer banking options that fit into your busy schedule. Carroll Bank and Trust, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Always online at carrollbank.com.
We're proud to call Huntington one of our new hometowns. Now serving Huntington and all of Carroll County, Hometown Health Clinic is open on the Core Square, featuring family practice, internal medicine, pediatrics, mental health, a Suboxone program, and convenient care. Hometown Health Clinic, staffed with folks who love caring for families just like yours. On the Core Square in Huntington and online at hometownclinics.com.
Cats lead 27-7 at the half. 7:25 to go before we kick this thing off. Right now at halftime, AD Brad Chappell is presenting our servicemen who are being honored today here at halftime. It's Military Appreciation Day here at Wildcat Stadium. Cats are making their way back out on the field to do their post-halftime warm-up drills. St. Andrews. Thomas U back out as well. Again, if you were listening to us in the first half or wasn't listening to us, Thomas U had a young man go down, preliminary injury. It seems to be a lower leg injury. He was taken by ambulance to one of our local hospitals. Hopefully that young man's going to be okay. He's in good hands, and many prayers and concerns for him and the Thomas U coaching staff and players.
Certainly the case, Craig. The folks being recognized, the 129th Division Sustainment Support Battalion from Fort Campbell being saluted here at halftime. Something we didn't mention, Carroll County residents, if you showed your driver's license today, you got in free. We honored Dustin Finch earlier. Brad Chappell, Senior Athletic Director down there with the group from Fort Campbell. And they came out today with a Wildcat Walk as well with Coach Jasper. I think we do have the stats now. Austin Childers has stuck with that and done a great job with it. And you've got to look at the stats here at halftime. And we're going to tell Chris we'll just do that at the end of the game since we're a little late getting those. And the stats now by Craig Lund. Craig?
First for Thomas University, Chris Carter, 7 of 8, 27 yards passes. So the defense doing well. Rushing Charles Britt, he's had 4 attempts on 17 carries, averaging 11.5 yards a carry. His long was 23. Jalen White, 2 attempts, 46 yards. His average 23, but the long was 48, and that long has resulted in the only touchdown for the Thomas U Nighthawks. Receiving, James Aker, 1 catch for 23 yards. Trent Hall, 2 catches for 3 yards, his long of 3. Kicking, Braxton Carter with just 1 of 1 for extra points. Punting 5 times is Wyatt Waddell, 170 yards, average of 34 yards a punt, his long 53, and 1 touchback on his punt. Kickoffs for Thomas U, 35 yards by Jason Latimer. Wyatt Waddell, 1 for 16, and Braxton Crawford, 1 for 43. Deontay Reed had 1 interception thrown by Colazzo. He returned that for 20 yards. And Thomas U had no fumbles or no interceptions thrown. Defensively for Thomas U, Ronnie Davis with 1 tackle. Leading tackler is Raheem McBride. For the Wildcats, Joaquin Colazzo, 10 of 14 for 160 yards, 3 TDs, 1 interception. Avante Burris, he's 4 for 4, 39 yards. Rushing, Joaquin Colazzo, 1 carry for 18 yards. Mitchell Faulkner, 3 carries for 10 yards. Dakota Braswell, 1 carry for 48 yards. And Martez Smith, 2 carries for 24 yards. Receiving, Brian Hughes, 1 catch for 8 yards and 1 TD. Mitchell Faulkner, 1 catch for 26 yards. J.D. Dixon, he's leading. He's not. Jalen Taylor, 4 receptions for 94 yards, 1 long for a 66-yard touchdown, and then J.D. Dixon, 4 catches for 83 yards, his long 37 for a TD. Andrew Welch, perfect on the day for extra points, 3 for 3. And kickoff returns, Cortez Itman, 1 for 3. Tyler Ball, 1 catch for 33 yards. Demetrius Gilbert on 1 punt return, 59 yards, which resulted in a touchdown. Tackles for the Wildcats. Leading at the half, Brody Franks with 4 tackles, Brian Hughes with 3, Jerwin Young with 4, Timothy Hamilton with 3, Xavier King with 2, Cantrell, Allen, Itman, Clark, and Yancey all with one apiece, and a host of other Wildcats, Dave. Defense has been very active today on the defensive side of the ball. A lot of tackles being thrown out there by the Wildcat defense.
Remember what I said, Craig, early in the game, too. You know, I'm not a rocket scientist, but I do know football a little bit. Bottom line is, one thing so impressive, offensively, defensively, is how many different names we call out when Bethel plays.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Very deep.
Very deep on the offensive and defensive side. Total offense for Bethel, 26 offensive plays for 296 yards. Thomas Yu, 22 offensive plays for 124 yards. Time of possession, 13:54 for Thomas Yu, 19:09 for the Wildcats. Third down efficiency, 1 of 6 for Thomas Yu, 16%. Bethel, 1 of 3, 33%. Red zone scores, Bethel, 1 of 3 chances. So there's your halftime statistics.
All right, let's take another break. This is a 1-minute break. We'll come back. Beginning the second half here on this hot day in McKenzie, Tennessee. 27-7, the Cats. Can they keep this winning streak alive? Well, we'll find out right after this 1-minute break on the Bethel Football Network.
Coming or going, the first move should take you to Taylor Real Estate in Austin, Spain, and Huntington. The Taylor Real Estate in Austin is only where you is the key to real estate satisfaction. And you know what else is better than Taylor Real Estate in Austin? Their hours are open Friday from 8 to 5, and appointments can be made for other days and times. So whether you're in the market for real estate or looking for an auction company, call 986-8578. Knowledge is power. Taylor Real Estate and Auction.
Doggone it. Did you forget to call 811 before you started digging? 811 is free, easy, and the law. 811 will contact all underground utilities to have your lines marked. Don't wind up in the doghouse. Call or click 811 before you dig. We want to keep you safe. Thanks for trusting the West Tennessee Public Utility District.
With Craig Lund, I'm Dave McCulley. Welcome back, everybody. Today's ball game being brought to you by Worthy Road Studios, the Ball Game Blitz, and Bethel University's Boxcast on our website, and also on 100.9, thefarmradio.com, and 100.9. Craig, you've lived here all your life. I have been at Bethel now. I live in Jackson, but been here now 13 years, and 100.9 is an institution in the area, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been here since 1990, Dave, and as far as I can remember, yes, that, and of course, not living growing up here, but when you come, there's basically 2 stations, one out of Jackson, and then there's Huntington, 100.9 over there, the farm. And you're right. Support Carroll County Athletics, Bethel, Huntington, McKenzie, the whole bunch. And of course, they're located in Huntington. So, on Friday nights they have the Mustangs. On Saturday they have us. And we're grateful for their support and what they do for us to broadcast Bethel football every weekend.
They do a coach's show over there on Saturday. The talent is waning as they have Derek Hubble in every Saturday morning.
Yeah, Dr. Hubble goes over there to give his 2 cents, and they return and 4 cents back to him.
We'll find out how Sophia Santo did, first women's tennis player to reach the semifinals of the conference tournament in history, and she's performing up at Georgetown as we speak.
Wonder if Hub is listening to us.
He'll be listening to us on the way home, I guarantee you. He said, I don't think I'll be back for stats at 1 o'clock. And they played at 8:30 this morning. I said, there's no way you can have a tennis match. That's a 5-hour drive from here to Georgetown. Even him, it'd take him 4, 27-7. And to kick it away will be Braden Johnson. Cheerleaders down there decked out in the black today. Whew. Guys, you got to wear white on a day like today.
Yeah,
here's the end-over-end kick. And that's going to be short of the end zone. It's going to be gathered in at about the 5-yard line. Far side left, trying to get out there, and Bethel pins him in pretty good. Pretty good special teams play there on the return by Charles Williams from Valdosta.
Tackle made by number 28 for the Wildcats. Well, wait a minute. They said maybe it was number 20.
He said Devontae Carter. Carter's had a good special teams day, hasn't he, from Mobile. Lane College transfer. 27-yard line. There the Nighthawks will have it. We've got the Nighthawks, the Firehawks, the Skyhawks. We got all sorts of hawks around the country.
Got all kind of hawks.
Ball be at the 27-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 there. Let's see where they come with quarterback this time. They went to Britt after starting Carter. I think Carter's back in there. He's under center, a little bitty guy. You can't see him. It is him back. He pitches back and running back, bang. What a great defensive play by Jaron Rady, excuse me.
Jaron Rady just comes up from his safety position, takes out that Tall sweep right there. Loss of one on the play. Second down and 11.
Jeremy Rainey, the coaches really like him. Newcomer, 6'2", 200, the senior defensive back from Hampton University. So a loss of a yard, second down and 11. We're underway in the third. Bethel leading the game 27-7.
You know, you talk about the depth Bethel has. One thing I look at that height, 6'2", 6'3", 6'1".
Yeah.
You know, we've got some tall players who got a lot of range that can really cover some football field.
Yeah, they just look like D-line up there, don't they?
They do.
Frank's peering in from that middle linebacker position. Here's Carter dropping back. Little guy being pursued and tackled. That's going to be a sack that time. He was just ate up by Christian Cantrell.
I'm going to tell you what, that young man, if he gets his hand on you, you're going down. He just drags you down. Strong young man, upper body strength. Look at this right here. Just whoop, down on top of him. And that's 250 pounds coming square on top of your body.
And he's falling on a guy that is soaking wet 180. Well, Cantrell makes the big stop. Tennessee Tech transfer, by the way. 13-30. The Cats lead the game 27-7. You can make it a point that Bethel should have 2 more touchdowns. You can also make it a point that they probably should have another touchdown or 2. They moved into Bethel territory a couple of times. Came up dry. Third down and 13 now. Carter throws underneath. No one there.
Yeah, just misdirection right there.
Yeah, he was going to look like he thought it was a down and out. The receiver thought it was a slant pattern. So incomplete. Punter will come out. And Crawford, I'll make it Waddell, I should say, will punt it.
So the defense does their job. Back to receive for the Wildcats.
Waddell averaged 34 in that first half, long of 53. That's Patterson back there.
Patterson.
Newcomer. Heard a lot about him. Our first time to look at him. Hadn't really had his hands on the ball much, has he?
Hadn't been active with the football. Maybe he'll get an opportunity right here.
Stands near midfield. Transfer from Valdosta State, Dayton, Tennessee. Most known for anything but the Scopes trial, right?
Yeah.
Showing our age, Greg. Most young people have no idea what we're talking about. Here's a kick. Patterson's going to field it and step out of bounds at about the 37-yard line.
Good job. Good punt right there. Hung that ball up, and it kind of floated
Sure was.
to the right.
Now we got a little more chippy activity going on near midfield.
Yeah.
The line judge saying, get out of here. And they've got to control one of the guys from – and that's not like a team that's so disciplined. And that guy that's upset is Traylor.
He's still coming back for more.
Yeah, he wasn't real happy. He's still barking. So his teammates did a good job, though, saying, hey, son, calm down here.
Yeah, they tried to get him to the sideline. He said, I'm having none of that. I'm coming right back out here. Going to be interesting to watch him right here on this play, see what happens.
4-man front. As Colazzo's in the gun at his own 38. Hand off Martez Smith. You called it, Craig. You would think that Bethel wants to establish some run attack here, and that didn't get much. Maybe, well, it got more than I thought, about 3 or 4.
Well, you know, the old football coach, give me three yards in the cloud of dust, I'll pick up a first down every 3 downs.
Especially when you're leading by 20, and, you know, you move the ball down the field like that, you score, and you take a lot of time off the clock.
And that's what I'm saying. You have an opportunity here to work on your running game. If you feel like in the first half you couldn't establish it with a big lead, you got an opportunity to work on it here and get it back into the flow.
Colazzo to Burrs on the jet sweep. Burrs turns the corner, tripped up, or he would have got more. Going to be hit the turf at about the 46. He's going to be about a yard or 2 short of the first down.
That was actually a shuttle pass, Dave.
Was it? Yeah.
He kind of pitched it forward to him, so that was a shuttle pass.
That was. You're right. I appreciate you correcting me on that because that goes as a forward pass.
That's a forward pass.
Forward pass, guys, on the stat crew there. 30-yard. Colazzo looks like he's going under center for the rare time.
Again.
He'll back out of that, I would think.
Establishing the running game. 3rd down and less than 1, or 3rd and 1.
Well, he's staying under there. Trying to draw him off sides, I think. He puts Bowles, the big tight end, in motion, sets him down.
Coming left side right here.
Yep.
There you go.
They hand it off to Smith. Smith hit. Second effort gives him the first down. Another effort gives him more. He's inside the midfield stripe down to the 47. That's just power football that time, following that left side of that offensive line.
It is. You shift your big tight end Bowles over to that left wing right there. You almost have to guarantee it's going to be a run play to that left side. He brought an extra blocker over just to pick up the first down.
Offensive line's really played well today. Under center, play fake. Colazzo throws it out here, incomplete. Threw that away.
Good pressure right there by the Nighthawks, number 52, Darius Phillips. Collazo rolls to his left side where he needs to. Left-handed thrower.
See a great shot of the sideline there. Partee going over there out of the game.
11-10 to go in the third. Wildcats lead 27-7.
47-yard line, 2nd and 10. 11-10, clock arrested here in this third quarter. 87 degrees now, which means it's 90 plus on the turf. I wish fall would get here like it's supposed to, cooler.
Me too.
Doubles here on the bottom of your screen. You folks watching right below me here. High snap, but Collazo pulls it down, running for his life. Now a throw and caught by Dixon. My goodness. Making something out of nothing, Collazo and Dixon. First down.
We talk about Carter for the Nighthawks extending plays. Collazo does an excellent job right there doing the same thing. Had pressure coming from behind. He's able to roll out to his left, looks downfield, finds Dixon, drops it in there right on the sideline for the first down.
The Melbourne, Florida native is used to the heat. It doesn't bother him a bit. Cool customer there. 10:40 left. Bethel threatening again. Have it inside the 30, or right at the 30, excuse me.
Play action.
Yep, looking underneath. Here's the pattern to Burris. He's hit hard and only about a yard gain. Good defense.
Yeah, good tackle by Adrian Trailer right there for St. Andrews.
That didn't fool him, did it?
I did not. I said St. I've got St. Andrews in my head for some reason. It's
That's
Thomas.
okay. Well, these are opponents that we're not used to be honest with you. Thomas and St. Andrews earlier. Well, it's going to be 2nd and 9, a yard pickup to the 29. Smith moves to the right of Collazo. Joaquin, and now jumping real quick.
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, they jumped, but Bethel's lineman just jumped up and patted him on the shoulder pads. I'm not sure what they're going to call here. Going to be against Bethel, yep. He didn't make contact. And we reached up and just sort of gave him a little tap on the shoulder pads, didn't we?
Yeah, I think the defense can get back out of the neutral zone. That may be what happened. When he jumped, we touched him. Now, if Collazo snaps the football,
that's right.
Now you're in the neutral zone. It's a free play for the offense.
Exactly. So that's a loss of 5. So it's 2nd and 14 now with 9:41. After Bethel scooted out to a big lead, it's sort of gone back and forth, and neither team getting a lot done offensively. Here's Collazo. See if he can change that. Flushed out of the pocket. He's going to run the football. He'll be inside the 30. His feet to the 25, makes a guy miss, and then runs out of bounds at about the 17. What a play by Collazo.
Collazo makes a man miss. And this time, now we got a flag just thrown on top of number 20. That's going to be unsportsmanlike probably. Collazo thinks better turning it up. He goes directly out of bounds and to avoid the hit.
He's had 3 rushing touchdowns, not a ton of yards because he's lost a few of them on a few sacks. The way Bethel's reacting, it's going to be against us. Let's wait and see here. No, they're going to. He hadn't told us.
Got another one down there too, Dave.
Yep, I see it now. Who did he call it on?
66, I think.
His mic cut out.
Let's say replay right here. Collazo looks.
He makes a decision to run here.
Yeah.
Let's watch what happens after he steps out of bounds over there.
I don't see anything.
Don't see anything yet. It happened away from the ball where the ball was rushed out of bounds. Well, it's going to be first down now and 10. Handoff, bowling ball. Smith inside the 25. Martise has it down to about the 22 or 3. They've got a Nighthawk shaking up.
Got 2 shaking up laying down there.
Sure do. One of them has been very active today, that being Mack.
I think Bethel was trying to go hurry up right there, and officials have to kill the play for injury timeout.
Yep, he's up and okay, thank goodness. But then a timeout on the field. Well, 8:56 in a third quarter that hadn't really had a lot of action as far as scoring or anything. This is right where we were at halftime. We're going to keep it here, Tom and Chris. So Mack's okay. He'll have to be escorted off the field across the way, but he's walking with his helmet in his hand. He's okay. So it's going to be at the 23, 2nd and 9, or make it 1. They picked up 9.
Bethel on the march right here.
Yep. A score here would put the game, I think, in great stead for Bethel. It's still a game right now, 27-7. Bethel's had an interception today, and they've had a fumble, which cost them. Smith has it. Smith has running room. Look at him dash his way inside the 15, turns, and is down finally at about the 13. Great run.
Kind of stumbled when he first got it, but he was able to get his feet back. He was hit by number 2, Fabian Yarbrough, but he spins off and picks up another 3 or 4 yards. Good run right here. Spin move right there. Falls forward for another 3.
Kept the legs churning, didn't he? Here's Smith again. Crashes his way behind the right side of his offensive line. He gets positive yards again down to the 10. It's a pickup of about 3, 2nd and 7. Craig, we've had a lot of people on both sides slipping today, haven't we?
Sure have. I don't know if it's the turf may be a little, I wouldn't say it's wet or anything. It's dry, blue skies here. Humid maybe?
I think so. I think that's part of it. 2nd down and 7. Collazo throws. Dixon has it. Dixon's going to dance into the end zone. Touchdown, Cats. From 7 yards out.
Just a quick strike from Collazo to Dixon. Dixon does the rest.
7-yard strike. And Dixon puts the Cats up 33-7. He and Collazo continue to be a great 1-2 punch. One throwing, one catching.
Dixon able to beat 2 men to the end zone for the Wildcat scorer. Welch on to attempt the extra point.
You know, the thing about Dixon, we don't talk enough about him pass after the initial catch, or yards, I should say, after the catch.
Those yak yards.
Another red zone score for the Cats. Here's Welch's PAT attempt. It is up, and it is good. 34-7 Bethel. Back after this 30 on the Bethel Football Network.
The Johnsonville TVA Credit Union wants to finance your next car loan. Come in and get pre-approved before you go car shopping. Come by any branch, and Johnsonville TVA Credit Union will help with payments to fit your budget. Is your rate too high somewhere else? Bring it to Johnsonville TVA Credit Union and mark in a low rate. 4 locations to serve you, and Huntington, New Johnsonville, and Cumberland City. Johnsonville TVA Employees Credit Union. More lender of choice when it comes to borrowing money. Number 420
Dave McCulley, Craig Lund back here with you from Bethel this afternoon. Worthy Road Studios, the gang's all here. Ball game blitz. They cover not only Bethel, but high school, rockabilly baseball, you name it, they cover it and do a great job in doing that.
14:40 mark of the first quarter. Tennessee leads 7-0 on an 81-yard run by Joe Milton.
Oh, Joe Milton. Well, he got back in there and redeemed himself a little bit, didn't he?
He's trying to see if he can run as far as he throws it.
Yeah, he can throw it.
He can throw
Sometimes the accuracy's been the issue, but he can throw it, no doubt. Here's the kick, back inside the 5, 10, and to the 15, and not much more there by Tyler.
Excellent job right there by number 20, Javante Carter, for the Wildcats. If he could get outside of him, he's got the sideline, but Carter does a good job of just stringing him down the field with pursuit coming from behind. Cat's able to wrap him up at about the 18, 17-yard line.
We've called Carter's name a lot today, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. He's been very active on the football field.
Last time I checked, Kentucky was beating Vandy with just a couple of minutes left, 45-28. And the big score earlier today, Florida State has beaten Clemson in overtime. That's not an upset because Florida State's number 4 in the country.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Mike Norville's done a good job after coming over there from Memphis.
Former Memphis coach. Did a great job down in Memphis. 1st and 10, the ball at the 18. Carter keeps it. Hamilton, sack. Make sure whatever we do, stat crew, give Tim Hamilton the sack.
Because Dave will hear about it.
No, we'll hear about it. He comes to the office and reminds us.
Does he now?
Yeah. Walked in the other day and he said, "You having a good day, sir?" I said, "Yeah, what can I do for you, Tim?" "I think you're a sack short on me, sir." And then he says, "Xavier King, y'all gave him 2 and he didn't have them." What teammate does that?
Yeah.
34-7.
We don't do the stat.
Oh, Hamilton's okay, though. I like him. He's a good guy. 34-7. He wants to make sure we got those stats right. We want them right. Here's the pass, incomplete. Just enough forward that it was a forward pass, but it's pretty close. And broken up that time by Darian Burns and others. Darian, he had eyes on that thing for an INT, didn't he?
He sure, that's what I was going to say. He had that in his sights. He just couldn't get there.
Well, the Fort Campbell folks and the vehicles are headed to the house. Safe travels for them. We appreciate them being here today. Military Appreciation Day. It's 34-7. Clock stopped on the incompletion, so it's 3rd down at about 13 now.
Come on, boys. We got to run the clock now.
6:55 left. 34-7 Cats. They came in averaging 63, yielding 9. The defensive side is still okay. We got to scoot if you're going to get 63 today.
Yeah.
Here's Carter dropping back and hit again. And Jerwin Young not only tackled him, he jumped on top of him.
I'm going to tell you what, that young man's going to have nightmares if he sees the number 9.
Excuse me, that's
4,
Christian
9, 6.
Christian Cantrell, excuse me.
Yeah. They have been all over that quarterback today, 94, 96.
He's got to call his mother on the way home, and she said, well, who made the most tackles? He's going to say 94, 96, 91. They were all in the 90s, Mom. 34-7. No disrespect, because this Thomas team has played hard.
They sure have.
Waddell will stand back in his own end zone, averaging about 34 on the day. Gilbert now out there instead of Patterson at the 45. Mama's going to say, son, as long as you're okay, I'm happy. Moms have a way to put it in perspective, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Waddell.
That's a good punt.
Another good punt. And that's going to go into the Bethel bench here.
Coach Jasper down there giving the official. It went out right here.
Yeah.
And the official stopped where Coach Jasper was pointing.
It was caught about 10 yards further down in the bench, but it actually went out of bounds right there. Well, great field position. Bethel already leads the game 34-7, 5:59 in the third.
See if Colazzo loads up right here and takes a shot.
43-yard line. He'll send this time Tyler Ball and also Secker. They'll be far side right. Partey's the tight end. Has one back there with him. Now he moves Smith to his left. He'll put Ball in motion. Ball will go far side right. Colazzo, though, looks left, flushed out of there. Now an outlet pass to Ball. Ball tries to make the guy miss. He does, but he's going backwards. Now Ball will be knocked out of bounds after about a 5-yard loss.
He tried to make something happen after he was initially hit. Drove him backwards, then they had help come over the top, and there's a flag right there, and that's going to be.
And the way the Thomas bench is reacting, it's going to be on Bethel.
Yeah, I think we were doing a little chirping as we came off the sideline. Now, to be fair, when they tackled him out of bounds, or they took him out of bounds, they kind of shoved him over there behind the bench, a little bit off the sideline there.
Bethel came in this game today with 28 penalties for, well, too many yards, 271. Unsportsmanlike. Going to be on Ball.
Yep.
The guy that caught the ball. Coming out of the game for the Cats will be Kenny Williams.
So that's going to put the Cats way behind the sticks here, Dave McCulley.
Yeah, we got to get all the way down to the 33. The ball is going to be at our 40 or make it 37.
Wow.
That's a long way. Let's do my math real quick. Is that first and 35?
Second and 30.
I was close. Second and 30. It's a long way. Got to get almost to Henry. Don't get up there. They'll give you a ticket. Here's Colazzo. Hands it off. Smith. Big hole. And the big guy rumbles his way to midfield.
Smith says, I'll get a big chunk of it back. Y'all do the rest.
It is Henry they get you on the cameras, isn't it?
Oh, it's Henry. Yeah, the little guy sits in the truck or the Blazer.
Don't pay those if it's on the camera.
No,
you don't have to pay those.
No, we don't pay those.
50-yard line.
I wave at them as I go by.
Yeah.
How y'all doing?
All fingers up, by the way. 34-7, 5:05. We're a Christian school. 5:05. Third down now and 17. Under 5 minutes. Clock running. Third. Bethel leads 34-7. Colazzo. The Melbourne Flora senior. Smith again. And this kid's had a great game.
Excellent
That's
job.
Mack. Great tackle.
Yeah, excellent job by the defense right there, Nehemiah Mack.
Lost about a yard, didn't he?
He did. Comes off the right side. Just beating somebody off the line of scrimmage. And for the first time today, the Wildcats have to punt?
Johnson's going to punt for the first time today.
I think that's the first time today.
It is coming in the game. Johnson averaging 53 yards per punt. His longest is 65. Doesn't need that here. About a 45-yarder would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if he hit that coffin corner. Uh-oh, look at the Cats. Shifting people out.
Yep. Let's see what they do here. See if it's any hanky-panky. Nope. They go to Johnson. He gets it away. They come at him. Nice end-over-end punt. And it will be down inside the 15 at about the 15-yard line.
Yeah, great punt right there. He almost got the coffin corner. He was just a corner up.
We've got more chirping after almost every play now. You don't like to see that?
No.
Both sides. Bethel did a good job just running over here to the bench saying, look, we're up 34-7. Look at the scoreboard, kiddo.
Point to the scoreboard.
Yep. 14-yard line.
Don't even point, just look.
Yep, 1st and 10. 3:50 left here in this third stanza. My wife texted me last night. She said it's 11:30. You're not home yet. We were just about back to Jackson. She may be texting me later today, but it's been a long day here. Under center, Britt's back in there at quarterback. Hands off to the running back. Not much, maybe a yard or two.
Tackle made by number 55, Jamil
Goulburn. 55 made the tackle, and it was Williams who carried it. Leading rusher in the first half for Thomas was White, who had 46 yards. Excuse me.
I was talking to our stats crew down there. I'm sorry, Dave.
No problem.
I talked over the top of you.
That's no problem. Trying to help our stat crew out. I do that all the time. 34-7, 3:15 left. Britt's under center. One of the first teams we've seen in a long time. Here's a handoff again. Nothing much there. That's carrying it again. That's Butler or Williams. Butler carried it 29 instead of 28. One of the first times, Craig, I've done a game in a long time that had they been in the gun all day?
Andrews?
Yeah, Thomas. I don't think they've been in the shotgun all day.
No, they haven't. They stayed underneath that the center.
Very unusual this day and age, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, especially at the collegiate level. And you'll see that some in high school, depending on your offense you run. But honestly, this reminds me of Huntington right here is what it reminds me of.
Yeah, Hubble says they don't pass the ball enough. 34-7.
He's right.
And sacked. Britt sacked back at the 20. 55. And there he is. There's your boy again.
Yep, 55. Goulburn.
Yep.
54 in there as well, T.J. Hart.
T.J. Hart, yeah. Yeah, Hubble tells me all the time that we just need to pass the ball more.
You know, I have many friends over at Huntington. We talk about that some, you know. If, they've been doing that little wing tee, veer, whatever you want to call it, for so long, but they've had some kids who could throw the football. If they had some receivers out there to just throw it up to them, they would probably have got a couple of gold balls already.
Proud program through the years.
They are. Very good, rich tradition over at Huntington.
Two of the traditional schools ever met last night. Huntington beat Milan. Here's a line drive kick. Patterson says, I'm not getting near that thing. And it will roll dead finally at about the 42-yard line. With Bethel again with good field position, 42-yard line. Collazo is going to come back out there. His team leads 34-7, a minute 35. I would think if Bethel scores in the next possession or two, you probably won't see him much in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, probably not. You're going to rest him unless you're playing for next week maybe.
Sure.
You know?
Yep.
But you don't want to risk an injury in a game that's in hand for the most part.
Bethel's played well today at times. Not quite as crisp as you might think, though. Would you agree with that assessment?
I would agree with that.
And that's no criticism.
It's not. I give some little credit to the Nighthawks defense.
Sure.
They've come on a little bit, but you're right. Not as crisp as we've seen them in the first three games.
Collazo throws out to Dixon, hit hard, and bounces off the guy, bounces off another guy, and struggles to midfield. What an effort by J.D. Dixon.
And Jakai Pouche.
You would think, Craig, that we were down by a couple of scores. We're only up by one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean.
Pick up of 8, second down and 2. Well, they're backing the truck up over there with folks in the bed of it. They're going to watch the game freestyle today. Hand off. That's Faulkner. Faulkner first down and crashes his way inside the 40 down to the 37-yard line. 1st and 10, Bethel.
Tackle made by 24, Raheem McBride.
We've called his name a lot today, too.
We have. Just a good run off the left side right there by the Wildcat offense. Seeing the run a little bit more this half, as anticipated.
Dixon bent over there a little bit. I hope he's all right. I think he just took a hit a moment ago. Far side right this time will be Taylor. Faulkner's in the pistol behind Collazo. Now he moves him to his right. The up back is Bowles, the big tight end. Collazo, they give it to Faulkner. Bowles gets him to block. He's inside the 30. To the 25, he crashes all the way down to the 23. Well-designed play and well-executed.
Yeah, great job. You called it, Dave. Bowles does an excellent job of kicking out that defensive end outside linebacker, which frees Faulkner to take it off the right side.
1st and 10 Cats again. They're racking them up. They had a 12 to 8-4 lead in first downs in the first half. Well, that ends the third. Not a lot of scoring, just one touchdown, but Bethel leads the game 34-7. We head to the final frame right after this 1-minute message on the Bethel Football Network.
If you're looking to purchase or refinance a home, or maybe you need a home equity line of credit, call the folks at Holly Credit Union and talk to one of their experienced loan officers. At Holly Credit Union, their goal is to provide members with low-cost, high-quality financial services in a friendly, personal environment. So call them today at 644-9031 to schedule an appointment to discuss your home loan situation. That's Holly Credit Union.
Deposit insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Visit Holly Credit Union of Paris.
Are you always on the go trying to cram a job, picking up the kids, and all of your other errands into an 8-hour day? Carroll Bank & Trust is proud to offer mobile banking that allows you to bank on the go and make banking convenient for you. The mobile app allows you to check your balance, transfer money, all from the palm of your hand, 24/7. How's that for convenient? At Carroll Bank & Trust, we're proud to offer banking options that fit into your busy schedule. Carroll Bank & Trust, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC. Always online at carrollbank.com.
And welcome back to Bethel Wildcat football as we start the fourth quarter. Wildcats lead 34-7. They have the football 1st and 10 on the Nighthawk 22-yard line.
Thanks, Craig. It will be Colazzo in that gun again. Faulkner to his right. Colazzo looks left, throws left, caught. Dixon again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Cats. Dixon refused to go down.
Just a nice pitch and catch right there. Colazzo to Dixon. You're right, Dave. Sheer will just pulls him into the end zone as he fights his way down to the goal line and crosses the pylon for the Cat touchdown at the 14:49 mark of the fourth quarter.
Third time today he's caught Dixon for the touchdown, 40-7. Dixon now on the season, already coming in the all-time leader in yardage, receiving. He now has 7 touchdowns for receptions this year, and it's 40-7. Colazzo racking up the yards. And the accuracy of Colazzo and his decision-making continues to be superb. Welch, the PAT, is up, and it is good. 41-7 Bethel. 14:49, just 11 seconds into the quarter, and the Cats continue to pour it on now. Back after this 30-second message on the Bethel Football Network.
We're proud to call Huntington one of our new hometowns. Now serving Huntington and all of Carroll County, Hometown Health Clinic is open on the Court Square, featuring family practice, internal medicine, pediatrics, mental health, a Suboxone program, and convenient care. Hometown Health Clinic, staff and functioning preparing for families just like yours. The Court Square in Huntington and online at hometownclinics.com.
Scores there during the break. Ole Miss leading Alabama 7-3 in the second. Is that right?
Yes, 7-3 in the second.
Alabama's problems offensively continue. Meanwhile, prime time, not right now prime. They're losing to Oregon 13-0 in the first half.
And that game's at Oregon, so prime, see what he's made of. This is the game I was looking on that schedule. This is what will tell the tale about the Colorado Buffaloes.
Yeah, Austin talking about the next 3 games he thought would tell the tale. The Oregon, the Ducks are quacking.
Yep.
Here's
Tennessee.
Johnson's kick, end over end, and running under and bobbing. He called for the fair catch back near the end zone. That ball was still about the 30-yard line in the air. He said, I want no part of this.
I've seen enough 90s today.
Yeah. So, now bring it out. Was that 10, Tyler? Was that the guy that called for the fair catch? So it's 14. We'll make it 41-7. 14:45 left in the game. Bethel will send out the troops defensively. We'll spot some of those guys for you here as we have some reserves in the game.
72. I don't have a 72.
I don't have a 72 on my roster either.
I don't either.
Deshaun, if you'll get you run down the coach's box, Deshaun, and see what 72's name is, if you would, for me. We don't have a 72 in here. Here's the quarterback keeping it, and Britt slash to the turf, and a good play there by Kendrick Walker, the leading tackler, coming in.
Good job by Walker, just tracking him down from behind, stringing the play out. Wouldn't they let him turn it up the field? Makes the tackle.
Talented player, sideline to sideline. Tough to get around him, isn't it?
Yeah, and again, we talk about the quickness. Kendrick Walker, redshirt freshman from Birmingham, Alabama, 6'3", 231. That's a lot of speed and a lot of height coming at you.
Minor high school product there played major. 14-12, 41-7. 14:09, now left in the game. Britt under center. Put a man in motion. Britt throws a ball caught out there at the 30 and then dropping the ball out of bounds. But he's down before he did that, and it's going to be Foster carrying it after the short throw.
Tackle made by number 2, Demetrius Gilbert for the Wildcats.
Demetrius coming in. Tower High School product out of Atlanta. Third down and about almost 5. Let's call it third and a long 4.
Yeah, I went up to Murfreesboro last weekend. I was at the Embassy Suites. I go in to do my stuff, and MTSU's football team's in there.
Here's the handoff. Nothing there at all. I mean, nothing.
Nothing.
About the 32-yard line.
Oh, look at that. Imagine that, Dave. A 90 number making a tackle.
Yep.
Now, this would be Tyrone Johnson.
Been there all day. Okay. Beasley's the guy that's in there at 92 or so. Thank you, Deshaun. Well, 4th and 2 after the running back is snuffed that time. Waddell will punt it. And Patterson back near the 35.
I really want to see this young man catch this football.
I do too, yeah.
And see what he can do with it.
Well, we don't know a ton about him. They don't. Of course, they wouldn't know anything about him much, I wouldn't think. But Waddell almost blocked. He side-swiped that thing and gets it out there. Another pretty good punt. But now down at about the 37-yard line.
The thing about with the Australian-type kicker, when the ball snapped, he's going to run to his right, the right where his kicking foot is, and that gives time for your coverage team to get down the field before he kicks it. So when he kicks it away, your team's halfway down the field. Not a great opportunity to get a return anytime.
National Guard product. He's actually from Albany, Georgia, but he kicks like an Australian, doesn't he?
Yeah.
41-7. Colasso still in there at quarterback.
Kind of interesting he's still in there.
Yeah, I think so too. Here's the handoff. That's Smith. Smith carrying it for positive yards. Snuffs his way, crashes his way over the 45 to about the 46. A pickup of almost 9.
Tackle made by number 26, Samarion Stapleton, I believe.
Yeah, let's give him 8, Craig. 2nd down and 2. You know what Bethel would like to do now? They're high scoring, but they like to just grind out a bunch of first downs, take time off the clock, score again. Just put it in the house.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't get any injuries, those kind of things. Colasso looking, throws underneath. Caught, and it's caught this time by Jalen Taylor.
Oh!
And he was on his feet and hurls his way down inside the 40 to about the 35, 34-yard line.
So does the tackle go to number 13 there?
Let's
watch
watch
this
replay.
It's pretty nice. And again, credit to the offensive line. Colasso able to stay in the pocket, throws it out there, and just a little hurdle.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, you got to give the guy the tackle.
Yeah.
Yep. Good replay, Chris and Ashley. Ball inside the 35. Hand off Faulkner. Faulkner, nice hole, good run. Down to about the 21.
Starting to get chunks of yardage now on that offensive, defensive line. You could kind of tell we're starting to wear that defensive line down of the Nighthawks.
Colasso very quickly back in the shotgun. 1st down and 10. Here's Faulkner again. Faulkner runs like he's fresh, and he is. And he just took right on one of the defensive backs, crashed right into the body of McBride. But he gets good yards down to about the 13. Pickup of 8.
24 meet 24.
Yeah. Pretty brutal game at times.
It is.
10:42. Especially it gets even more brutal every level you go up to. Here's Colasso. You and I do a lot of high school, and it's pretty vicious in its own right. Faulkner again, the workhorse on this drive. Keeps his legs churning down near the 10. He's got the 1st down at the 10. Had to get to the 11, got it by about a yard.
Just doing what you suggested, Dave. Just grind out some 1st downs, let that clock roll, get out here injury-free, hopefully, and take the win and prepare for next week.
Faulkner out of the game, and for him is Smith. That's a good 1-2 power punch there. And it's going to be 1st and goal at the 10. Colasso with Smith to his left. Gives it to Smith. Smith has a big hole, 5, and dives his way down there about the one. If he lost his footing that time, or he would have scored.
Yeah, he kind of clipped him as he made his cut up to the middle of the field. But you're right, Dave. If he don't lose his footing, he's going to go into the end zone right there.
2nd and goal now from about the 2-yard line.
Andre Neal checking in the ball game for the Cats, number 87, a tight end, 6'3", 230 from Jasper, Alabama.
Played some last year. He's played a little bit this year. They go with a power set here.
Power eye. This is football right here.
Power
Smash
eye
mouth.
to the right. Yep. And here's the handoff to Smith. Smith hit and decked right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there at all.
Good.
This Nighthawk team has bowed up at times today.
They have good defense right there by the Nighthawk defense. They try to run power eye left off the left side. I would call that 45 blast in my old coaching days. And the Nighthawks able to shut it down.
3rd down and goal from the 3. Well, we've been successful in the red zone again today, but a couple times we've had to settle for field goals. Same set again with Smith in the back of that eye.
Power eye.
Yep. Here is Collazo under center. Taking a while. Now finally gets the snap. He gives it to Smith. Smith hit, but he's going to take the defender in the end zone. Touchdown, Smith and Cats.
Just sheer determination. Carries a defender into the end zone over the goal line for the Cats touchdown at the 8:36 mark of the 4th quarter.
47-7. This game is going to wind up being a big win for Bethel. But I think the game, in essence, to be honest with you, has been a little closer than the score would indicate.
I would agree with that.
That sounds crazy, but you get my point.
It really does, because it goes back to what you said earlier. I don't think the Cats have played as crisp as they have the 3 games.
Turn it on right now. And Thomas, give them some credit. They've been very competitive. Of the teams we played thus far, Point was pretty competitive for a while. This team has been fairly competitive. Here's the kick by Welch. It's up. It's good. 48-7 Bethel. That coming with 8:36 left in the game, and we give Smith the 3-yard touchdown run. Back after this, 30 on Worthy Road Studios, the Ball Game Blitz, and 100.9.
Coming or going, the first move should take you to Taylor Real Estate and Auction on East Main and Huntington. With Taylor Real Estate and Auction, knowing where to begin is the key to real estate satisfaction, and no one does it better than Taylor Real Estate and Auction. Their hours are Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, and appointments can be made for other days and times. So whether you're in the market for real estate or looking for an auction company, call 986-8578. Knowledge is power. Taylor Real Estate and Auction.
Welcome back to Bethel Wildcat football. As the Wildcats tack another on the board to lead 48-7 with 8:36 to go in the 4th quarter. All Cats today, Dave McCulley.
Good shot of the band. They've done a great job down there in this heat under the direction of Dr. Derek Jones. Dr. D and I was at Lambeth together for a while. Then he went up to Kentucky. And now he's made his way back to Tennessee here at Bethel. Braden Johnson to kick it away. He's been superb this year on the kickoffs. Gathered in at the 5. And looking for a little bit of a hole there. Not much there, but a great hustle. And look at this. He breaks away.
Yeah.
Nice play by Tyler, Nathaniel Tyler.
Thing that'll drive a coach crazier than anything. You got a young man wrapped up, and you let him shake loose when you got a good grasp on him.
Now, most fans watching the game or listening to the game at this juncture are saying, well, yeah, it doesn't hurt you. But the coaches go back and watch this thing. And that's drawing board, that's film room stuff there, isn't it?
That's exactly right. It's just well, coaches will say the little things. Yeah, we're winning 48-7, but we got to finish.
Sure.
You don't want to let up. You got to finish, regardless of 48-7 or if it's 8-7. You want to finish, and that's a finish play. He didn't finish right there.
And the coach's mind too. Great point, Craig. The coach's mind is going, okay, we're going to be in some tight games. That can't happen in those tight games.
That's right.
Bethel has some new defenders out there. Here's the handoff. Now Britt's going to keep it. He's going to go far side right and go out of bounds near the 40-yard line. Cats have now C.J. Bradley in the game, number 23. Coming in the game, too, now will be Marquise Taylor. Some of the guys that's been playing here for a while are still in there.
Yep.
There's Tyrone Wash. He started the game today. Pick up a 5. 2nd down and 5. It stops the clock at 8:06 of the game. Bethel leads it 48-7. We'll talk to Mike Jasper after the game, get his thoughts about the game. And you read about it later tonight at BethelAthletics.com.
I really like, too, the Cats are getting a lot of freshmen and sophomores in there playing. They're bringing their youth in to let them build for the future.
Absolutely. It keeps your starters injury-free as well.
Exactly.
Handoff this time, running back, carrying it to near midfield and will be decked before he gets there, but a nice hard run that time think that was Williams that carried it.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get I think the tackle was number 4. Oh, they're going to say Hamilton.
Hamilton's had a good game today. He's really played well. He's very athletic. It's first down as they get up to their own 46-yard line. Clock running with 7:15. Bethel is only giving up 9 points a game. Their high of the year is 14 against Bluefield, and that was against reserves. They had 13 they gave up against Point. Did not give up a point at St. Andrews. I would think they would love to keep this thing at the 9 average or less. Here's a pass, quick pass out, and well defended, but then they beat the tackle. And running inside the Bethel 45. That's a nice catch and run after the catch by Hall. He's had a good game for them.
Tackle made by number 4, Darian Burns, for the Wildcats.
Cats will hustle in a defender now. They'll get in another player. That's going to be Tyrone Johnson in the game.
Again, a freshman, redshirt freshman.
Yep, Johnson, the big guy from Birmingham. So the ball at the 45, second down in the yard. Clock running with 6:25, and the Cats are about to move to 4-0, and the Nighthawks will go back home. They'll fly back home 0-2. Hand off, running back, struggling and churning his way is Woodard.
Big 7. I don't have a 72 on my roster.
That's Beasley.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
We said that, didn't we?
Yeah, the guy that Deshaun went down and got the name for us.
Beasley?
Yeah.
For some reason, I put Beasley.
42-yard line. I think we had him on the roster earlier, but I didn't have him on the roster they sent me this week. So a little snafu though, but we'll get that straightened out. We got Beasley in the stats now, number 92. Okay, he just wasn't on my roster, so I apologize. That might be on my side. 1st and 10. If that's the worst mistake I make today, we'll have it made. Here's the crashing forward, the running back downfield in this case. Woodard carried it. He's a big horse, isn't he? He's 5'8" and 240.
Tackle 92, Peyton Posey, according to PA announcer Josh Keefe.
Watching Woodard trot off the other way, he would be a hard guy to tackle, isn't he? He's built low to the ground, 5'8", 240.
A little bowling ball coming at you.
Yeah, no doubt. Tough cookie. Under 5 minutes now. Bethel trying to snuff out any chance they maybe have a score again. And that's a pass incomplete.
Wow.
Very close to being a backward pass, but they say nope, forward.
Went out of bounds anyway. So
sure did.
The worst part about that, the clock stops.
Yep, exactly.
There we go.
4:51. Yeah, they'll crank it back up and say, let's get this thing going, boys.
Yeah. He set it down. He said, roll it, baby.
48-7. My kind of referee right there.
Yes, sir.
That's with your ahead or behind.
That's right.
Now, if you were behind just a couple of points, you wouldn't like
Whoa.
that. But yeah, say, wait a minute, don't do that, sir. 3rd down and 9. The ball at the 41. 2-down territory for Britt and gang. We mentioned Britt in reserve today. Charles Britt from Philadelphia. Not that hot up there, I bet, today. Here's the pass over the middle. Caught. Nice throw. Good catch. And we missed a tackle or two, and he's going to go in. That's going to be a touchdown, and no flags on the play.
Wait a minute. They blew
Denmark.
They blew it dead, Dave.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that's a tough break.
I heard the whistle.
That's a tough break there. He was never down. He was hit, bounced off the guy, and went on in and scored. And that's a tough break for the Nighthawks.
Let's see the replay.
Well, that's a tough break. Here's the replay of it. Greg, describe it.
So we get a pass. Quarterback looks to his left, rolls back to his right. He's got it right down the middle of the field. Player catches at the 20.
Never went down.
And he never went down. I bet he thought his knee hit the ground.
And it did not.
It did not.
That's a hard thing to swallow there for Denmark, the wide receiver from Valdosta.
And I don't think you can challenge that, can you? I mean,
what
do you do?
I don't think so either. I don't think so.
Can't challenge it because, I mean, he blows the whistle dead. He blew it dead.
Orlando's talking to him about it over there. He said, hey, my guy never hit the turf. One guy hit him, then he bounced off him. Another guy hit him, and he really never lost a lot of momentum. He just kept going, and then gets the screen, a little bit of a screenplay over there, and nothing illegal, but he went in and scored.
Still, again, we go back to coaching point for.
Well, that's not a good call.
It's not a good call. We go back to coaching point, though, for Coach Jasper. Yes, we heard the whistle, but we hit him twice, and he's still up on his feet. Got to take him down.
Well, let me refresh what I said. Maybe not a good inadvertent whistle.
Right.
Yeah, 48-7. But he clearly never hit the ground, did he?
No, he did not.
Britt drops back, the lefty, flushed out of the pocket. Britt will run the ball inside the 15, move his feet, still on his feet. Great effort.
Oh, that's
to the 5. He's going to score. Now he's going to fumble the ball. And who came up with it in the end zone? It's recovered. I think Bethel got it, or did they get it? No, it's a touchdown. Touchdown, and, well, he didn't get the pass play, but he does get this touchdown, and guess who fell on it? Denmark fell on it, and I guess Justice, if you're a Nighthawk fan, does persevere.
Watch this play. Blindside block coming. Right here about the 20-ish yard line when he rolls down.
And they missed it, didn't they?
They did miss it. Here it comes right there.
Oh, yeah. Then he fumbles the ball, just dropped it. And then, of all people, Denmark, who had the touchdown taken away, gets the score.
He said, I told you I scored,
yeah, if you're a Nighthawk fan, you say, well, okay, justice
prevails.
Prevails, yeah. Did it better than I described it. Here's the PAT, and it's up, and it's there. 48-14, 3:10 left in the game. Bethel in cruise control, but an unusual play there for the kids from Georgia. Hats off to them. Back after this 30 on the Bethel Football Network.
Doggone it. Did you forget to call 811 before you started digging? 811 is free, easy, and the law. 811 will contact all underground utilities to have your lines marked. Don't wind up in the doghouse. Call or click 811 before you dig. We want to keep you safe. Thanks for trusting the West Tennessee Public Utility District.
Tigers not so happy down in the plains. They went out to Texas today, out to College Station. Texas A&M has beat Hugh Freeze and the Tigers 27-10. A little surprised by that score. I thought that Auburn might go out there and sneak out a victory, but A&M at home awfully tough. They had the 12th man out there, isn't it?
It's hard to win at Kyle Field, and plus Auburn just got, Texas A&M just got smacked at Miami last week, so they probably had a little chip on their shoulder. So not a good game for Auburn to go into Kyle Field after A&M getting beat so bad in Miami.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Some good points you bring up. 48-14. Well, Thomas is going to fall to 0-2. We got one guy down there. He's dancing with the band, and that's Cameron Braswell. Cameron, it's good that you play football because you're not a great dancer from what I've seen.
You wouldn't think that.
Oh, he's pretty good though. Look at him. He's still gyrating. Look at him.
You wouldn't think they would onside kick right here.
I wouldn't think so. 48-14, but I guess you say, well, what do you have to lose?
Yeah.
It's a squibber.
It's a good kick.
And picked up by Franks at the 30. Franks dropped the ball. It's a wild scramble for it, and I'm not sure who's got it.
They got it.
Oh, my goodness. They're pointing toward Thomas, and they have the football. And the guy that came out of there with it is number 13. That's going to be Ronnie Davis. Number 13 recovered it, guys.
Here comes the replay. Good as an onside kick, Dave McCulley.
Yep. Franks picks it up. He's got some momentum, and they just dropped it. Well, the helmet right on the ball made him drop it.
Yeah, great hit right there. But, somebody who doesn't carry the football a whole lot, Coach Jasper and the special teams coach will probably say, look, next time we understand. Just fall on it. Let's protect the football.
Yeah, just run it about 5 yards and then drop to the knee. Yep. Well, that's 37-yard line, 38-yard line, and Britt and company are back out there. Well, this thing's now. You credit Thomas. They haven't quit and rolled over. 48-14. Britt wants to throw. And almost intercepted, and then we lose him, and that's down inside the 30-yard line to the 25. I'm going to let Craig Lund, you folks on the radio, just bear with us. I'm going to let Craig Lund describe what happened.
All right, so the quarterback rolls out to his right, looks downfield, nothing there. He throws the outlet pass, his check down to the outside, and when that wide receiver catches this football, there's a missile that's launched, trying to catch it, misses him, and he's able to move it down inside the 30, down to the 25-yard line before tackle by number 20 for the Cats, Javante Carter. But, wow, I didn't know if he was trying to hit him or if he was trying to pick it.
Well, I think he was trying to hit him, and I'll tell you in just a second. There's an old adage in sports, no matter what the sport is, always know where the ball is.
Yes.
And he was watching the would-be receiver who caught it. And if he looks up, I think he has an INT and maybe a pick six.
Oh, it's a pick six all day because there's nobody down behind him to stop him.
23-yard line. But he had his beads on him, though, didn't he? He said, I'm going to get you, buddy.
Wow.
A minute 50 left. Pick up only 2 this time. It's 2nd down and 8. Clock running under a minute 45 in the game, folks. Yeah. Well, let's see. By the time we wrap it up here, 4 o'clock. ETA in Jackson, about 5:30. Then we'll write the stories after a glass of milk and a shower. Here is Britt. Sacked. The guy that got back there is going to be the big guy. Johnson says, give me a little bit of the action.
Those 90s are all over the field today. We keep saying it, but it's true.
Yeah, it is. Yep, no doubt. Loss of 4. That's going to make it 3rd down and 12 now, down to a minute 15. Appreciate the SID staff. Craig, you've done a great job. The ball game blitz and Worthy Roads folks. And everyone has pitched in on a day that things went pretty well until about 80-minute mark before the game. And the video screen says, we're not going to work today.
Too hot.
And Austin worked hard on it. Trevathan worked hard on it. Electrician, Mr. Trevathan, and Brad Chappell in the game, but we'll get it going next time. Here's another sack. The guy that flushed him out of there, that's going to be who?
55.
55. That's going to be TJ Goburn, yeah. 35 seconds all that remains, and now they're going backwards. It's 4th at about 18 now.
They may not even snap the ball this time, Dave.
No, they may just say, this thing's over. Get on the bus, let's go home. Traveling mercies to Thomas, and we go back again. We hope that Morris Jackson, the freshman offensive lineman, a big hello to he and his family. Columbus, Georgia, went out early in the game with a leg injury or ankle injury or some ambulance took him locally to the hospital. We hope he's okay. Here's the pass inside the 10 down to about the 5-yard line. That caught on a nice pass, and Grace caught it. And this team is building some momentum, aren't they, for next week? And that's going to end the game.
Well, I think they may have gotten a timeout. Let's see.
Oh, did they?
They did.
Timeout. So let's see what they put. 2 seconds is what they'll do, and a good job by the officials. You're going to keep it here, Craig. Nice play. And, you look at Thomas. They go to Kaiser next week. They'll be heavy underdogs there as well. But, hey, look. They're building a little momentum for not only that game but future games, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And, again, we talked about them being a young team, a second-year program. But this is how you build a good program. You come up, you compete with the best of the best. Bethel obviously one of the top 6 teams in the country. They've stood, regardless of the score, and I agree with you, Dave, the game's probably a lot closer than the score indicates because they've hung around.
The chain gang says, we're dropping the chains. They don't need us anymore. It's hot. We get out here. Look at them. I mean, they're gone. Mama, we're coming to the house. That's funny. Look at that. I mean, there's the first guy there. It's not a delay in that step at all. He's going up the ramp. So we've had enough.
He's not even going to get his free hot dog and his drink.
No, 48-14. Well, they did get Chick-fil-A at halftime.
Oh, there you go.
And their checks, 48-14. Checks are require you to stay the entire game.
We got what you need.
Here's the last play of the game, barring a penalty. Britt rolls out of there, being pursued. Now it's going to throw, and that's going to be a touch. Now he dropped it. He dropped it.
He did.
And this game is over. Incomplete pass. The happy final here. Bethel wins at 48-14. A 2-minute break. Back with our postgame. Coach Jasper. Stats from Craig Lund. Scoring recap from Craig Lund. He's going to do it all. We'll come back. I'm going to take a break. 2-minute break. Postgame coming up here on the Bethel Football Network.
The Johnsonville TVA Credit Union wants to finance your next car loan. Come in and get pre-approved before you go car shopping. Come by any branch, and Johnsonville TVA Credit Union will help with payments that fit your budget. Is your rate too high somewhere else? Bring it to Johnsonville TVA Credit Union and lock in a low rate. 4 locations to serve you, and Huntington, New Johnsonville, and Cumberland City. Johnsonville TVA Employees Credit Union, your lender of choice when it comes to borrowing money. Your eligibility and loan approval required. Insured by the NCUA.
If you're looking to purchase or refinance a home, or maybe you need a home equity line of credit, call the folks at Holly Credit Union and talk to one of their experienced loan officers. At Holly Credit Union, their goal is to provide members with low-cost, high-quality financial services in a friendly, personal environment. So call them today at 644-9031 to schedule an appointment to discuss your home loan situation. That's Holly Credit Union.
Deposit insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Visit Holly Credit Union of Paris.
Are you always on the go trying to cram a job, picking up the kids, and all of your other errands into an 8-hour day? Carroll Bank & Trust is proud to offer mobile banking that allows you to bank on the go and make banking convenient for you. The mobile app allows you to check your balance, transfer money, all from the palm of your hand, 24/7. How's that for convenient? At Carroll Bank & Trust, we're proud to offer banking options that fit into your busy schedule. Carroll Bank & Trust, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC. Always online at carrollbank.com.
We're proud to call Huntington one of our new hometowns. Now serving Huntington and all of Carroll County, Hometown Health Clinic is open on the Court Square, featuring family practice, internal medicine, pediatrics, mental health, a Suboxone program, and convenient care. Hometown Health Clinic, staffed with folks you know, caring for families just like yours. On the Court Square in Huntington and online at hometownclinics.com.
Everybody, 48-14, the happy final here as the Cats run the record to 4-0. The Nighthawks of Thomas University fall to 0-2 on the season. Craig Lund has a look at the final stats of this one as the Cats move to 4-0 and protect at least, I would think, their 6th ranking in the country, and not quite 63. They came in leading the nation in scoring, but we'll take 48 and go home with a win. Craig, off to you, sir.
Absolutely. Here's how the scoring went. The 14:30 mark of the first period, Joaquin Colazzo's pass complete to J.D. Dixon for 37 yards, put the Wildcats up 6-0. Kick from by Welch was good, made it 7-0. The 13:31 mark, Waddell's punt, 43 yards to the Bethel. Demetrius Gilbert returned it 59 yards to make the Cats go up 12-0. Kick was good, made it 14-0. Joaquin Colazzo complete to Brian Hughes for 8 yards. Thomas 0 for the touchdown at the 11:30 mark of the first period. 11:30 mark for Jalen White rush for 48 yards to the Bethel for the first touchdown for the Nighthawks. Kick was good, made it 19-7. The 1:31 mark of the first quarter, Colazzo's pass complete to Jalen Taylor for 66 yards, made it 25-7. Kick was good by Welch, 26-7. In the second quarter, Andre Welch field goal was good, made it 27-7. The third quarter, 7:46 mark, Joaquin Colazzo pass complete to J.D. Dixon for 7 yards. Touchdown was good, 33-7. Welch's kick was good, made it 34-7. The 8:36 mark of the fourth quarter, Martez Smith rushing for 3 yards. Made the score 47-7. Kick was good by Welch, 48-14. Charles Britt rushed for 20 yards for the Nighthawks, made it 48-13 at the 3:10 mark of the fourth quarter, and the kick was good. Final score made it 48-14. Score first downs for the Nighthawks was 10 to Bethel's 24. Rushing yards, Nighthawks 32 carries for 110. Bethel, 24 carries for 235. Really quiet rushing yards for the Wildcats.
Much of that coming in the second half, too.
It was, yeah. Passing yards, Nighthawks 93 for the Wildcats, 27. The quarterback was 12 of 15 for the Hawks. Colazzo was 21 of 25, one interception. Total offensive plays for the Wildcats, 49 offensive plays for 505 yards to 47 offensive plays, 203 total yards for the Nighthawks. Colazzo, 231, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. Rushing, Colazzo, 1 carry for 18 yards. Leading rusher for the Cats was Martez Smith, 11 carries for 64 yards with 1 TD. Receiving, leading receiver for the Wildcats was J.D. Dixon, 8 carries for 146 yards, or 8 receptions for 146 yards, 3 touchdowns today to really bump up his stats. Jalen Taylor had 4 receptions for 94 yards, 1 TD. His long was 67. Brian Hughes, 1 catch for 8 yards. That 8-yard catch was a touchdown. Kicking, Andrew Welch was perfect for extra points, 6 for 6. Had 1 field goal. He was good there. Kickoff returns. Tyler Ball, 1 for 33. Brody Frakes, 1 for 13. Cortez Ettman, 1 for 3. For the Nighthawks, Charles Britt 5 of 7 for 66 yards throwing. Chris Carter was 7 and 8. They used two quarterbacks. He was for 27 yards. Rushing, Charles Britt 12 carries for 14 yards. Jalen White 3 carries for 44 yards with 1 TD. Brandon Dearmark 1 carry for 2 for a touchdown. Receiving, James Amaker 1 catch for 23. Leading receiver for the Nighthawks today, Tramal Hill 3 catches for 16 yards. Long was 13. Kicking, Braxton Crawford 2 extra points on both touchdowns. Kickoff returns, Nathaniel Taylor 4 carries or 4 attempts for 51 yards, averaging 12.75. His long was 28. No punt returns today. And Deontay Reed had 1 interception for 20 yards off the little screen pass. He played it very well and was able to pick the pass off. Final score, the Bethel Wildcats win 48-14 over the Thomas University Nighthawks to run their record to 4-0 on the year as they travel to the Cumberlands next week in Kentucky.
Craig, great job. Great to work with you, sir, and a great job of those scoring recap. How about this stat? As you were doing those, I looked at Collazo last 2 games, 44 of 54 in the air.
Wow.
How about that?
That's unbelievable. I mean, that's, you're only missing 9 passes in 2 games. That's incredible.
That is amazing. We'll take a break, 2-minute break. The postgame will continue. The Cats win it 48-14. They run their record to 6 of the country. They run their record to 4-0. And Traveling Mercies again to Thomas. They go back to Thomasville at 0-2. They go to Kaiser next week. And as Craig said, the Cats will be in Williamsburg, Kentucky. Will not be there. Our next televised effort and broadcast effort will be Georgetown. The Tigers will come calling from up in God's country. They'll be here on the 7th. It will be Breast Cancer Awareness Day, and the Tigers will come calling without Bill Cronin, but always good to see the Tigers from Georgetown. We'll take a break. The postgame will wind down here with Coach Jasper from him, and then closing comments from us, and then we'll wrap it up, get ready to go to Jackson and write the story. Back after this 2-minute message on the Bethel Football Network.
Or going, your first move should take you to Taylor Real Estate and Auction, Spain and Huntington. The Taylor Real Estate and Auction showing where to do is the key to real estate satisfaction. And no one does it better than Taylor Real Estate and Auction. Their hours are open from 5 to 8. Appointments can be made for 3 days at a time. So whether you're in the market for real estate or looking for an auction company, call 986-8578. Knowledge is power. Taylor Real Estate and Auction.
Doggone it. Did you forget to call 811 before you started digging? 811 is free, easy, and the law. 811 will contact all underground utilities to have your lines marked. Don't wind up in the doghouse. Call or click 811 before you dig. We want to keep you safe. Thanks for trusting the West Tennessee Public Utility District.
The Johnsonville TVA Credit Union wants to finance
The Ballgame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios. With over 750,000 views in 2022, we are where you need to advertise. Please subscribe to our Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel and join the other 4,000 subscribers watching local sports.
The Jackson Rockabillys, Union and Bethel Universities, USJ, TCA, JCS, and Peabody.
Our multi-camera broadcasts include slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers.
Thanks to the sponsors who make it all possible. Ballgame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.